Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today is a very special guest, Mr. Camelot 331.
What's up, everybody? I'm back. It's been like a year, but I'm back.
Yeah. What took you so long?
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing in life. Like it seems like, and I don't know if I'm getting older because I feel I definitely am getting older.
You are getting older. That's a physical reality.
Unfortunately, but it feels like, it was like a week ago when I was on, and now it's like a year later, and I'm like, oh damn, what happened?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I sent you a message to get back on the show, but I sent it by a guy walking to your house from mine, and so it took him a while. It took him a while to get there.
He finally. It's like that one movie. You ever seen It Follows?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh my god!
With all the kids getting the STD chasing them around or whatever.
No. Okay, so I made all my friends watch that at a party once because I like this movie is great, and like obviously it's like a metaphor for STDs and they're bad. We can all agree. All right, we've been there. I've been there multiple times, but like that movie was awesome, and all my friends when it ended they were like that sucked, and I'm like, are you shitting me? It was walking towards them. That's terrifying.
Yeah, wherever you go, it's inescapably following you, and someday you have to rest. It's brutal. It's a brutal concept. It was, I mean, like, to be real, the video or the movie has flaws, but so what? It was still good. Although I could see it not being great as a party movie, though.
What would happen if you went to space? What would happen in space? That's like I've been thinking about it because, like, for some reason, I'll be driving, dealing with everyday struggles, and for some reason, that movie pops in my head, and I'm like, how would I survive? It Follows. Like, would I move to like maybe Japan for maybe like 2 months, and then do the math in my head, and then just keep moving back and forth or something?
Yeah.
Or just
You just you just get on something that moves really fast and go really far and then not worry about it for a while.
Yeah, but then like you might forget and then all of a sudden somebody walks in your house and then they smash you to death, which is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool way to die. I totally forgot that was a thing. Yeah, they just like sexed you right to death.
Yeah. Well, it's like well, the idea of a walking STD was funny until Twitch came around. And then, then there's a bunch of them.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, okay, look, I know when we were on the Flashcast, like we kept pulling up different people that were doing the hot tub thing.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like me or what's wrong with me, but for some reason, when I look at these girls, and I'm not saying they're not attractive, they're definitely attractive. Like no harm, no foul. But they kind of look like they smell like funky. I don't know why. It's just like I see, it just feels that way when I watch them. I'm like, man, I feel like they smell like BO. And I don't know why. It's like some weird sense I have in my head. They probably smell great.
No, but they smell like whatever they douse themselves in, to mask the funk. But no, that's your body. That's your body's natural protection right there. That's what that is. Your body's like, nope, stay the shit away from that. That is all of your problems in one place. It's
biology.
Away.
Biology is strong, and you can't take it away.
I'm going to take the unpopular position though, and say that most of them are actually not physically attractive anyway. There's a couple that are, but most of them actually look terrible.
If you saw them at the nearest 7-Eleven at 3 a.m. and they're just going and getting a honey bun, you'd probably be like, oh damn.
Yeah, and the thing is, you would see them at the nearest 7-Eleven at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that's the other reality, is that would be actually happening. Like,
that's where they go. They're the girls that go to Walmart back when it was open 24 hours at 3 a.m. just to like, snicker at boys in other aisles.
Right.
And I don't know why. I saw that all the time growing up, and I'm like, why are they doing that?
And buy new sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Or whatever that they're doing. I don't know. There's like 2 hot ones, and the rest of them are just
The most famous one is not even like the hot one for me. The Amaranth chick.
Yeah, she
just looks normal.
Yeah, she looks okay. She's not ugly or anything, but she's nothing to. I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
don't
would,
know,
I would,
man.
I would definitely clear a place in my face if she wanted to sit. I'm just saying, if she needed a chair, I got it covered.
you,
So,
you, you'd lay down, have a waiter come and use the napkin.
yeah,
Wipe it
yeah, for
off,
sure.
ma'am.
I have no problem. I have no problem with that. Like, I can look at them on camera and be like, I don't know. But if they're in the same room with me and they're like, hey, there's only 3 chairs in here and there's 4 people, I'd be like, look, I got you covered, baby.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So we got to introduce you because it's been a long time.
Yes.
So this is Camelot 331. You got your channel kind of blew up a while back with the first time GameStop was in the news.
Yes.
Because the second time GameStop was in the news was when a bunch of people pretended the company was worth something when it isn't.
Yep.
So that's funny. But the first time it was in the news was when you basically exposed a bunch of stuff that was going on behind the scenes at these GameStop locations, right?
Yep.
Is that a
Mhm.
good summary?
Yeah. Well, first off, I started about talking about just my personal experience with working at GameStop, and I had the sneaking suspicion that it was going on everywhere because generally what we were told came from a higher place, like a regional that there's only 20 of, and he got the information from a like hemisphere leader that there's only 4 of, so
Right.
it's coming from like nearly the very top. So I just talked about all that, and then suddenly everybody working at GameStop started cooperating, being like, "Yep, this is all true." And then it led to the second explosion, which was when the company had to close down because the pandemic started, and GameStop was trying to say that they were a essential company because they sold AA batteries. But that's actually what they said. They're like, "We
Yep.
sell batteries, so we're going to stay open." And I shared their policy that they revealed to their associates, and I leaked that conference call that I snuck onto. And 2 days later, GameStop closed the entire every single store in the U.S. and in Canada 2 days later.
Yeah, they tried the battery thing. They were also arguing that they basically sold home office equipment like webcams and
Yep.
headsets.
Yep.
So they're like, look, everybody's working at home. You got to buy a headset somewhere. But what policy did what did they have that you kind of leaked there?
Oh, just things that certain things where if you tested positive, it was your discretion if you worked.
Oh,
They were
okay.
not going to pay you at all if you did test positive. You had to go home. You were not paid. If the stores happened to close, you were not paid. If the cops came to your location to close it down, you had to present them with this generic legal document and then basically fight with the police, which they're
Right.
not paid to do. I released all that and more. And then when I released the conference call, the actual vice president of the company was answering people's questions, and he was saying, "Yeah, it's not a perfect world. We can't pay you guys. Sorry." And when I released that, it was on like every other news station you could think of, and then that's when they closed.
Yeah, that's right. That was nuts because they're like, yeah, you barely above minimum wage employee. We need you to fight for the company on behalf of the company and
Yeah,
tell them that you have a right to be open and hand people cruddy Nintendo Switch games covered in gamer stink. Like
yep,
you have to do that, and that they can't shut you down because some lawyer in a different state decided to write this letter. And you just tell those cops, we're not going to take it.
yeah. To be honest, I still don't. That's the one thing that I know. Like corporations are scummy as hell, but that's the one thing to this day. I'm like, how did they think that was a liable solution or a
Mhm.
viable solution to like just give your part-time associate a random document that says we have every right to be open and give it to the police? Like, are you kidding me? I'd
Yeah,
leave.
that's well, yeah.
That's
I
what I'd
mean,
do.
if the cop showed up and I'm like, I'm collecting my $9 an hour or whatever, and they're like, yeah, close the store, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
I
that'd have
got
been
this
it for me.
letter that says I shouldn't, but you know what? You're here with a gun and handcuffs. And so I'm gonna listen to you instead.
Yeah.
It was a baffling thing. So then, game stonks or whatever. became a thing. They're still a thing, right?
Yep.
Like what I found interesting about it is the potential for the company to actually change, because before that happened, the company was definitely a disaster.
Yeah.
Complete garbage company, no value, no prospects going forward. But then, and their stock price reflected that. It looked like they were a dying retailer. Like there have been many dying retailers.
Yeah.
But then a whole bunch of people get together and start investing in this company. It pumps up the numbers, and they do it to own the libs or whatever. And that's very funny. But then suddenly there's now this prospect. Company has a bunch of capital that they can
Yep.
use to kind of restructure. What do you think is going to happen with it? Do you think they're going to take it all the way and actually make themselves viable, or are they going to go south?
I my initial prediction was that they would maybe last a couple of years and then teeter out, because what their idea is, because the guy that kind of took over everything, his name was Ryan Cohen, and he came from Chewy, and the reason that's viable is because it was a dog food company. You can ship dog food, rather than going to a store. That's pretty important, especially the
Right.
price. But digital games and like versus physical, that already exist online. Every company that you can possibly think of already offers that solution. So why do we need GameStop for digital or physical games online? Like, it's already there. They're going to be fighting with Amazon and every other major retailer, and like, what are they going to do different? And that's the issue.
Yeah, that's what I've always questioned. I know there are a couple diehard physical adherents out there who really want their physical games, but most physical games can be purchased now at Walmart or Target.
Yep.
That have better distribution than GameStop. They're in more towns than GameStop, and you're not getting digital, or you're not getting physical PC anything anymore. Anyway, like you're getting a digital game that needs an online code to activate. So that's not a thing. All of the the big three console creators, their stuff, like I said, it's in these other stores. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they plan to revamp the company. Maybe they make it into like a game cafe sort of center, but they can't really do anything like that during COVID. Even now, they're going to have trouble doing stuff like that. And that's a lot of investment per store to shift them over to a place where people can actually come in and play games. Like, it's almost like you could stop in and play games. Like GameStop would be it would fit. But I don't know. America has never really adopted the internet cafe sort of model.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how
I wouldn't go. Like, I don't see value in that. I mean, I do see one or two people maybe doing it, but I just don't see value in. Like, I like the idea. There was a place that opened in my town called like Pints and Pixels, and it's a bunch of arcade machines, and you can drink and get food. Right. And I went like once, and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of nice and interesting. And then I never went back. So, because I'm like, I'll just stay at home and drink because that's much better anyway. But yeah, I just don't see what they can do. And they're talking about still trading in games after they go all online, because I assume they're going to close all their stores because their stores are just not profitable. So
yeah, and mall retail space, the only break they've gotten on that is that COVID has driven down the price of mall retail space, because you go into a lot of malls now and they're half empty. Half the stores are closed. And so it's like, okay, they can negotiate some rental deals and keep open for a while. But at the same time, that's not going to last forever. And so what are they going to do? Plus, if the underlying malls that they're in start folding, because that's a reality. A lot of malls have been filing bankruptcies, getting new ownership, getting bought out at fire sales. And the one that I used to go to as a teenager, in Burnsville, Minnesota, they're talking about making the mall part of downtown. So basically, because the mall is completely unprofitable, the city is going to come in and utilize it as an indoor downtown space revitalize the community, which is kind of cool because it's Minnesota and it's fucking cold for half the year. So having an indoor downtown might actually make something neat, but it's not going to be a mall anymore with a GameStop. It's going to be engineered. I mean, they may still have a GameStop, but it's going to be engineered in a different way. So actually, no, I think the one in the mall is closed because there was also one like 2 blocks away from the mall. Like
they're closing. There used to be 11 in the city I live in, and there's like I think 2 or 3 now, and that was like 2 years ago. So, what all the malls did where I'm from, they completely leveled all the malls in my city and have changed everything to like an outdoor like complex.
Yeah.
Like an outdoor like concert area and then a gym and then a theater and then all these restaurants like along this walkway, and that's what every mall became in my city. They just demolished all of them.
Attorney Tom says, other than grocery stores, retail is dead. Online is a better product. And yeah, for the overwhelming majority of products, I fully agree. The one thing that I've seen that is kind of neat is Best Buy got smart a while back, and they shifted their stores to have basically you can touch a lot of the products that you buy.
Yeah.
They changed that. And that's the one advantage that you have going into a store these days. And it's the only advantage you have over retail. And so if your store isn't capitalizing like hell on the fact that you are physically present there, then what are you even bothering being in business for, in my opinion? Because I don't, most of the time I go, can Amazon get this to me in a reasonable amount of time? Although, what the fuck's up with Amazon, by the way? Why does it take 5 days for my Amazon Prime shit now? It used to be 2 days.
It's probably because they're understaffed in their warehouse operations, I would imagine.
Well, they need to find more poor people to drive to their deaths because I am so sick of it. I paid for Prime. It used to be 2 days shipping. I live out in the country. That was critical. And now they're like, well, 5 to 7 days is still Prime. I'm like, wait, no. And they don't even give me an option to overnight stuff. Like I'd pay extra sometimes to overnight something. No, they won't do it anymore. And if you go into a metro area, you can still get stuff in 1 or 2 days, but not out in the sticks.
Yeah, I don't I haven't got Prime like fast shipping in a long time. I've had Prime for years, and I don't think I've ever experienced fast shipping.
We used to get it all the time, man. It was 2 days. Every single product you ordered, 2 days, bam, bam, bam. Once pandemic hit, that thing got pushed back to 5 days, and it shows no sign of coming back. And I'm like, what? But I really like that 2 day thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good. It was good. But okay, so you were in on the GameStop collapse as it was a crumbling empire. Now it, like a phoenix, is rising from the ashes. But so what have you been up to lately? I was looking around, and forgive me, I barely watch any YouTube these days because I just don't have time. But I was looking around. You are covering corporate sort of like what these corporations are up to, right? Is that what's going on?
I try to cover just anybody that messages me and we talk and find out info about other corporations. I'll basically talk about them and give my take and try to get more people involved and get more information. And just that's kind of what I cover now. So I have a lot of videos, Walmart, Amazon, Lowe's, that are, they actually get more views than any of my GameStop stuff now.
Well,
so
no one cares about GameStop except
right.
They care about the stock, and that's it.
Right, exactly. So I feel like for some odd reason, when the pandemic hit, it made a lot of people like corporations again. And I'm not really sure why. And the funny thing is, almost every corporation you can think of grew 100% in profit over the pandemic. So I don't know what's going on there, but for some reason, everybody loves corporations right now. So I feel like anything negative about them, they're not about it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, weird.
Yeah.
Like what? It's like suddenly our corporate masters are good again. Yay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. No, but as I cover that stuff, and it's what I like. I like hearing people's stories and telling people's stories, and giving my own, because a lot of stuff that happens is the exact same stuff I went through 13 years of retail. But I started getting into racing and started putting a little bit of that content on my channel, and wrecking, at Daytona and stuff like that. So I've been putting a lot of that in my channel just because it's a thing I'm passionate about. So I'm like, I'll just throw this in here because I do this too. So
Okay, so you like racing. What's your current day sports car of choice? Like if you're going to go buy a 2021 something, what are you going to buy?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Probably like a C8 Corvette, but I don't even know for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
probably it.
C8 Corvettes are fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
They just
I've never liked really Corvettes that much. I've always kind of liked them a little bit, but the C8s when they moved to mid engine, I was all about it.
They changed the whole look. They made it
Yep.
look way more modern. It looks mean. It looks fast.
Yep.
The old Corvettes, I mean, you had like 8 miles in front between you and the road, which I get it, but that's also kind of a weird feeling. And one, it makes, like driving them's kind of strange when you're so far back. Like the BMW Z3, same thing. You got all this engine in front of the car. And you've got the big sports cars for years having either a rear engine or a mid engine, and Corvette finally catching up. I think the C8s are cool, man. I would, if I could buy a sports car today, I honestly have the exact same answer. Either that or like a Hellcat.
Yep.
Because those are pretty baller as well.
Yeah, I'm all about it. My cars, the ones I race, are all just very specific professional race cars, so they're just death machines. But as far as just like a daily driver, I drive like a 2015 50 Mustang, just my daily driver, and it's fun. It's a nice little goofy thing I drive back and forth to the gym. So
I rented one of those in Hawaii once.
Yeah.
I drive a giant ass van full of children. So, yeah, most of the time they're willing. No, but so I don't, I don't get to have a sports car because I decided to have too many kids. Like I can't cram them behind the driver's seat. So, but I did get to, the wife and I went to Hawaii a couple years ago and I rented the 50 Mustang convertible. That was fun, except that on Maui, you can never drive fast.
Yeah.
There's just like, there's no road that has not enough cars on it to actually go. They're all one lane, and all those one lane roads, like they're all full of cars going 50. Like, oh, well, this is kind of a waste. I would never do it again.
There's where I'm from, like you can go to Atlanta or North Carolina even, and you go through this little city called Scottsboro, and it goes up into these mountains that are windy as hell, and there's never anyone on them.
Yes.
You can just give it hell. It's fantastic.
God, that's the dream.
Yeah.
I love driving in the Southeast, right? Like I drive Minnesota to Texas pretty frequently, and I drive Minnesota to Florida from time to time. And man, once you get out of Illinois, because Illinois is garbage, all of it, all of Illinois, even the good parts, garbage because the rest of it sucks. Once you get out of Illinois, like suddenly nobody's doing less than 90 on the road. And that's beautiful. Then you hit Illinois, it's like everybody's going 62. What the heck? I thought we're on the speed limit 70. Can we at least get No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, and if you go below 50, you'll get shot immediately in Illinois. So you just gotta go as fast as possible through Illinois.
Yeah, you got that short range that you have to go through. But no, it's a mess. But okay. I got a couple super chats that came in before the show. I want to read those real quick, and then I want to talk about a video you did that blew up a bit, and then we can talk about whatever. I guess we can talk about the 4th of July and stuff like that.
Yay!
and whatever drama's going on. I hear the chat was saying that heel versus babyface is having drama with Ethan Van Sciver, and I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about it, but let's start. Richard Grubber says it has been a good flat F Friday. My team wins the sports ball, and I got to a lunch date tomorrow. We are going to win. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, Richard. I'm with you. This guy's the most positive guy on the planet. We're going to win. Not so handsome Jack says, hold on. If Nick is latent gay and Camelot is latent gay and Camelot's name with spaces is Came-a-lot, so then their gay cancels out.
Yeah. 2 gays equal a not gay.
Right. Yeah.
That's obvious. That's
right.
common
Well,
knowledge.
that's just math, right? Because a 1 would be a male, and then since a gay man would be the opposite, that would necessarily be a -1.
Yeah.
And if you have two negatives multiplied together, you get a positive.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's obvious. Yeah.
God, I'm glad I actually did math because that was the most important math question I know. Okay, so tell me about this video. You did a video a while back, a couple weeks ago, and it got really big. And the title of it is "I'm 31 and have no friends."
Yes.
So what the fuck's up with that?
So yeah, I don't know if everybody goes through the same thing, but I don't know when I noticed it. Okay, so when I was 26, I was married, and me and my ex-wife had been together for almost say 8 years at that point. And she suddenly just one day I came home and she was kind of quiet, and then she was like, I was like, "Hey, what's going on? You seem kind of quiet." And then she was like, "I don't love you anymore." And I was like, "What?" And then a couple weeks later she was gone. So
God damn.
yeah, so that sucked. But I mean, that's ancient history now, because I feel like that's kind of what made me focus on myself and become way better. But after that, one of my friends went into the Air Force, and then another one of my friends moved, and then all of a sudden, all my friends are gone, and I literally live in my house, like, alone, and don't talk to anybody other than my eventual roommate. And you just kind of realize that support structure and all those friends you grew up with and talk to every day, they're just gone. And I would text or call them like once in a while, and we talk for a minute or whatever. But I noticed that if I didn't text or call, they just disappeared. Like, they wouldn't call or text me. Now that could be because I suck, but it's fine. So I didn't know if, yeah, I didn't know if everybody went through that same thing. The where it was when you get older, like, your friends just, nothing against them. Like, they, their life starts, they get married, they find somebody, they move away. So, but people that are kind of still stuck in this weird, like, single, like, weird purgatory or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You're kind of just like, okay, I don't have any of my friends anymore. And I kind of had to have the weird realization that the people that I talk to every single day on YouTube, like my mods and stuff, are actually my real friends, like legitimate friends. And I don't have to, just because I don't see them on a daily basis doesn't mean that they don't, support, care, or exist. So that's kind of like what that video was about, really.
Well, I have to disagree mildly with one thing. Mods aren't people. Mods are gay. And so, but everybody else online, I agree with. Just not the mods, because that again, like Pythagoras' first theorem was the a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The second theorem was mods equal gay. So
that makes a lot of my mods are awful. Yeah, that's true.
But no. I get that though, man. And that is the weird thing. It's like reconciling with the disconnect that comes as you get older and life gets busy. It just gets fucking busy. I wake up every day and I'm like, I cannot imagine what free time is anymore. It's gone. It's gone from me. So I don't even know what to, like, how to process it. And I look back, even like 4 or 5 years ago, my life was not this busy.
Yep.
And it just seems to compound every single time. And when you do stuff to try and mitigate it or improve your scheduling or whatever, it always seems like there's something to fill it. I feel like we're all in the same boat, man. Just like trying to find times to do those things we like and to hang out with those people that we like. But
yeah, and that's the weird thing, is the opportunity to do that is, for me, it just disappeared because they all moved so far away, and they don't really talk to anymore, and they have girlfriends or wives or whatever. And that's fine. But 5 years ago, I was working at GameStop, and nearly 6 years ago now, I was working at GameStop, and I would go to work every day at the same time, get off work every day at the same time, come home, my wife's there, we go to the gym, and it was like this, we would do the same thing kind of every night, and I had free time to play, like, a World of Warcraft or something, or play any game really I wanted to play. And I thought that when YouTube started becoming a reality, I was like, man, I'm gonna have a lot of free time. And I find myself always, I'm always streaming, and I'm always kind of outlining, my videos and coming up with like talking points and filming, because like just before I got on this stream, I was recording video after video after video, trying to catch up because I have so much to do the next 3 weeks, like during the weekends. So
Right.
yeah, you would think, but it's all busy no matter what. It just keeps getting more busy.
Yeah, and it was like, it's interesting because we had an opportunity during the pandemic to slow down. I don't feel like
Yep.
anybody really did.
Definitely not me. No.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not us, because we were, if for us, the pandemic was, people are at home, they're watching stuff, they're clicking, they're hanging out with us, and I don't know about you, but I felt like I gotta be streaming. I mean, I gotta
Yep.
keep bringing people in and giving them a place to hang out and do something, interact with people.
Yep.
And that's safe and always going to be open. And so I know we didn't slow down, but even the people who like stopped working because their jobs closed, not because they wanted to or whatever,
Right.
their jobs closed them off. But I feel like they ended up filling their days with, like, they had to do stuff. They had to fill it up and get stuff done. And now it's like, well, work's starting back up. I feel like there's going to be a big crunch of people who kind of got used to doing a bunch of other stuff, and they're going to try and balance that in with their work now. And that's going to be a mess.
Well, a very popular thing that a lot of people are talking about right now is the fact that people are saying retail is dead because no one is going back to their retail jobs, because for the amount of responsibility they give you, especially if you're management in retail, the pay is just abhorrent.
Oh,
so
yeah.
No one can fill positions for retail companies anymore because they suck.
They're
suck
awful,
to work
man.
for.
They're awful. They talk about, like, you read article after article about like the bad conditions at Amazon. And
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, that's like every retail job though too. Like,
Yep.
you're on the floor selling shirts at Target. All you're looking for is the bullets.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I was, I worked at Circuit City back when Circuit City existed. I sold music, and then I sold phones, and then I sold computers, and God, I hated every second of it.
Oh my gosh,
every
yep.
single second. And you're right. I was never even in management, but the amount of responsibility and the pressure that they put on you to go up and like confront people while they're just out walking around, like going to a store. Like, I mean, I go to stores all the time, and I'm just going to walk in there. I'm not going to buy anything. Like, I'm going to just, like it used to be, I'm going to go browse the new CD releases or the new movie releases.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's a lot of people who were coming into Circuit City in the late 90s, is they just want to see what new movie came out on Thursday or whatever. They're going to go look at some dishwashers, and then they're going to go do something else. But you were supposed to, like, as like a teenage kid, you're supposed to go and tell this person why they really need to buy a new dishwasher because their wife just isn't pulling their weight or whatever. And it's a hard thing to do, and they don't pay you anything for it. They barely train you at all. And and they the thing about retail sales managers is that they were good retail salesmen, which means that they're top quality assholes. So I don't know about you, but all of my retail management, like, they will literally berate you constantly, which it doesn't like get to me. But half the time I'm like, why am I here? Like, you guys need me here to move your stupid e-machines.
Right.
Right.
And the thing that's the hardest about it is they want you to put so much effort in with zero incentive. Like, you're getting paid your hourly rate, or, well, I was at any rate. I got no commission. There was no commission structure at any of the places, like the retail places I worked at, especially not GameStop, of course. They just wanted you to do it out of the kindness of your heart. And I'm like, that's not how things work. Like, you gotta, there has to be a transaction there. So if there's no transaction, they're shocked because no one wants to work. And it's like, there's no commission structure for somebody. I have to go up to somebody and be like, hey, welcome to GameStop. Have you heard about the new 5 titles coming out that you can throw $5 on to go towards the purchase? And you get some really cool pre-order bonuses. And they're like, please leave me the hell alone. And I'm like, please pre-order something or else I'm going to get fired. I don't get commission though. So why the hell would I do it?
That's the thing. Every time I walk into a GameStop, I'm at risk of going to prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I know I'm not going to ask an employee a goddamn thing. if I have a question about something, I will sit in the corner and type on my phone and find out the answer, because I know if I ask the employee, they're going to like, what about this Funko Pop? And they're gonna be like, you know what you could do? You could pre-order Dragon Quest 8. And I'm like, what? But I'm talking about this Funko. And my buddy used to work at GameStop, so I know how the pressure is, but it's like, at the same time, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to sit there and keep telling this person no, and I don't want to have to rip their eyeballs out with my bare hands if I'm having a bad day. So it's weird, because I don't think the GameStop corporate recognizes that they're, you always should ask for the sale, right? Like, that's a real part of sales. You ask for the sale, but their approach to the customer interaction prior to a sale even being considered is so offensive that people don't want to go in.
And they use something called the assumptive approach. That's actually what the corporate office calls it at GameStop. And what that is you ask people about things like that. Like, hey, we have a credit card. You know, we could go ahead and see if you're eligible for it. Start typing it in without them saying yes. We have a 1-year warranty, covers everything, $3.99 for your game. And what you do is you put it all on the transaction, and then you tell them the total. And you're just like, okay, you know, slide your card, and they're supposed to notice and be like, I don't want any of this stuff that you added on. It's called the assumptive approach. It's actually something at GameStop they teach you when you work there. Use the assumptive approach. Just go ahead and give them, put it all in the transaction and let them say no later.
Have you ever bought a warranty on a video game?
No, not me. No.
No. Even at Walmart, they do that. They're like, do you want to protect this for 24 months for $2.99?
No. No. And you know, the funny thing is, I bought a Canon 80D, like a camera, a DSLR.
Yeah.
And it stopped working randomly like 2 months after I got it, or 3 months after I got it. And I was like, well, this sucks. And obviously I couldn't take it back because I didn't get the warranty. But Canon has a free 1-year manufacturer warranty. So I literally filed a claim and I shipped it off in a box, and they sent me a new one in like a week. So I don't need that.
That's what I've noticed as I've gotten older. There are a very limited number of products that I will buy an extended warranty for. But the overwhelming majority of products, and the way electronics prices in particular have come down so heavily over the past 5 years, in particular, if it goes kaput, I'm going to just replace it anyway with something far, far better at a not unreasonable price. Like phones, man, I almost hope I break my phone after a year. Like I'm itching for a new phone already. And I've had this one for like 8-9 months, and I'm like, oh God, please just get the next version out so I can buy it. I just, if I break like a screen or something, a monitor, it's like, unless I break that monitor within that 1-year period, I don't want the same monitor anyway.
Exactly. You get a better one. And a great aspect about like being a content creator is that camera, when it died, I needed it the next day, but I had to ship it off and get a new one. So I just went and bought a new one. And now I have 2 that I can use for different things. Right. And it's a tax write-off.
Yep.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. It's like I saved $500 or $700 or whatever. So hey,
right. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like, why would I buy the cheaper one when I could buy the more expensive one and get a bigger tax write-off? That's a uniquely us problem, though.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic.
But it's a good problem to have. But even without that, even stuff that I'm not buying for work and don't use for work in any way, here I have a Galaxy Health Watch or whatever. Yeah. That I use for running, because it tracks all your shit while you run, which is great. But they're like, do you want a warranty on that? No. If this thing goes out, you're going to definitely have a new watch. If I even want the same brand, I have no interest in like tinkering a steampunk setup once the internal battery dies to keep it running. Yep. That is not my thing. I know some people like doing that and tinkering with tech. One of my in-laws, he loves like getting old computers running. And like, okay, but that's a computer running Windows 7 that you don't even want to run anything on it though. Like
you don't need it.
It can't do shit. It's not like a really old computer where you're like getting nostalgia. Like you go, oh, I can play DOS games on it because I don't like emulation. I get that. But it's like that middle ground stuff. He's like, no, I got this computer running with like a GeForce 7800. Why?
Yeah. Why would I want to drive a 94 base model Civic?
Yeah.
I want to drive like a 69, like 302 Mustangers. I don't want to drive no damn Civic from the 90s. What the hell? So like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's weird, man. I don't get it. But if people like that, to each their own. But that's also the person who probably doesn't want a warranty though, because they want to tinker.
Exactly. And like Yellow Flash said in the chat, like warranties are like nearly 100% profit, because that person, like the employee, what we did at GameStop is we would, even if the game wasn't or was dead, we would just send it off to our warehouse anyway. So like that $3 to $4 or whatever that they gave us was 100% profit. It wasn't actually used for anything. So that's why they wanted us to get them on 50% of the transactions. They had a 50% goal on those. So you had to get, if you sold 40 games a day, you had to get 21-year warranties, which is like not statistically possible unless you're just throwing them on and not telling them what you're supposed to do. So, hey, it's all good.
Yeah. The last thing I bought a warranty for was a multi-$1,000 laptop. And that was years ago.
Yep.
And it was like, but today, you go out, you buy a laptop, they're like $800. It's like, what? I'm going to buy a $300 warranty on this thing.
No.
I know it's going to last a while. It's not like they just break. I'm not throwing it off of buildings. I'm not working in the field or whatever. So it's a different time. Back when I worked at Circuit City, I would argue there were some products that were worth the warranty. And again, it was literally laptops. Like that was it.
Yeah.
But the warranty on e-machines, the manufacturer's warranty on an e-machine, which was those were blowing up while I was there, is literally throw it in the garbage and just give them another one off the floor, because they were so cheap. They were so cheap to make that the warranty costs more than the machine. And they're like, why aren't you selling warranties? I'm like, your advertisement literally has this thing for free if someone is dumb enough to sign up for 3 years of CompuServe when DSL just came out. And you're going to try and get me to have someone spend $400 on a warranty on a free machine. It's like, well, yeah, you tell them that it's free and therefore they should spend the $400. That way they're basically making money if they have to turn it in. Stop it.
That was like, I had a person call me once, a telemarketer, asking me if I wanted 12 free issues of 12 magazines for a year. And they were like, you get them completely free. And I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? And they're like, all you have to do is pay shipping on them. And I was like, how much is shipping on them? They're like $298. And I'm like, so you want me to pay $298 to get 12 free magazines for free, but I have to pay $280 now? And the lady like chuckled and was like, you're not interested, are you? I'm like, no, that's not free. I don't think you understand what free means. That means I pay nothing right now, forever.
Yeah. The CompuServe deal that we did, it was $400 off your current purchase. And so on Black Friday, they would mark down an e-machine to $400. And so then it was free. It was a free machine. So it was $400 off your purchase, but you had to sign up for 3 years of 56K dial-up service. This is in 1999. Like I said, 1.5 meg DSL was out. Cable modems were out at least a megabyte a second. And this is, we're in the Twin Cities. So we're not out in the sticks, like where you have to get dial-up or something like that. We're in the Twin Cities, and it's like, you're like 3 years, $21.95 a month fixed price for this 56K dial-up service. And that sounds cheap for internet now, but at the time you could get DSL for $20 a month.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is the worst deal on the planet. And you were locked into this thing for 3 years. It came out to $800. And people are like, no, I want this. And I'm like, please don't buy this. You don't want that. Do you have cable? Yeah, I got Charter. You do not want this. They've got cable modems coming out to your area. They're 10 times faster. It's the same price. Please, please, please. And they're like, no, I definitely, I need my free computer today. It's like, God, you're dumb.
Oh my gosh. that there was a rent-a-center or something in my old town I used to live in, and I remember they had PS3s in that place,
Yes.
and it was like price without payment plan was like $1,600, and it was like whatever $80 a month for like 2 years, and I was like, for a PS3, are you shitting me? And I was like, how does this place, like, how did anybody come in here and do this? And it has to be people that go in there and they like have okay credit the first time, and that's the first place they ever went, and then they just keep it and never pay for it, I guess. Like, holy hell, $1,600, unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know how Rent-A-Center ever stayed in business, but I mean, it's like, yeah, you come in, pay $30 a month for your TV. It's like you could just go to Best Buy or wherever and finance the TV for like $8 a month. If you really don't want to pay for it now, it's not that expensive over time. But anyway, well,
they had like
go ahead.
They had like a 400% interest on the Rent-A-Center stuff. So
I got some chats here. Moist John says, "Moist Prolapse. What's up, cunt? Hey, what's up, Moist John? It's been a while, buddy. How you doing?"
Moist.
Moist Prolapse. That's disgusting. Actually, I don't know if a moist or a dry one would be better.
Have you ever seen that chick that prolapses her anus and then puts a cigarette in it and smokes the cigarette with her cherry head? There's one time she accidentally sucks it back in and sucks the lit cigarette back in her. Oh my God. And she screams. It's a great video online.
No, I've never seen that. I've never heard of that. And my life is worse for it. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's disgusting.
Yeah, dude. Dude, I had a weird teenage life.
Teenage, sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing the math on how the internet was back then, and I'm not so sure that was a teenage life, buddy.
Yeah, it might have been more recent. I don't feel as old as I am. I might have been 29. It's fine.
Frederick Little says, "Nick, I hope you, Lady Rackets, the rest of your family, Camelot, and everyone in the chat has a great Independence Day this Sunday with great barbecue, drinks, and lots of fireworks. Enjoy and be safe." So what do you got going on for the 4th, man?
I don't really know. I think I might go see my parents. Because I was originally going to go camping with another friend's parents, and now we're not doing that. So I'm like, I might just drive down to my hometown, which is a terrible place, and see my parents and do nothing. I'm on a real strict diet, unfortunately, so I can't really eat anything, but I will go there and stand there.
What kind of strict diet? You mentioned being on a diet, but I don't remember what are the terms of this thing?
It's strictly like fat cutting. So it's not like losing weight. It's just fat cutting, because I usually do it every year, but I didn't do it last year because I was really hungry. And this year I'm trying to cut 25 pounds before the mid-September, because I have a race with the HSR at Road Atlanta, a stock car race. And I just want to be like 25 pounds lighter and feel healthier. And because, man, squeezing in that car just hurts. It's just so tight, and I'm like a thick guy, and I'm like, you know what? I need to lose like 25 solid pounds.
You don't look like that thick of a guy.
Well, I'm not like thick as in like overweight. I'm thick as in like I've been working out for years. And
listen, there's the humble brag. Here it
going
comes.
Real hard. Yeah.
I'm just thick because I bench press so much.
Every now and then, I'm like, I don't know what is in that syringe my friend had. I don't know. Touch me with it. Stab me right there. I don't know. I'm just getting real thick. Everybody's just touching me and stabbing me with things. No. Yeah, I'm a thick guy, and I've probably gained like 20, 30 pounds over the last couple of years. So I just cutting it down. It doesn't take long. It's like 90 days, and I can get down to about 7% body fat. So
what do you eat then?
I eat 6 to 8 ounces of grilled chicken 3 times a day, and then like protein in between that, and then oatmeal and egg whites for breakfast, and that's it.
Okay, so you do have some carb intake with the oatmeal.
At the very beginning, yes, only in the morning, and because else I die. Throughout the day, I'd be like, and then I do it for 90 days, no cheat meals. So
yeah, that's brutal, man.
Yeah,
I found out that I really like carbs the other day.
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh, everything that's delicious. You see a mashed potato. You see a potato that's not exactly mashed. You can still mash it in your mouth when you chew it. Like carbs, best thing that's ever happened to the history of anything,
dude. So this is. A night or two ago, I was like, okay, it's time to switch from YouTube. I was going to go stream on Twitch, watch a movie or whatever. And so I went upstairs, and I had made homemade chicken soup the other day. So I've got this. I've got the broth and all the stuff, and I've got some leftover noodles. But then in the meantime, since I made that, I'd made a bunch of rice to have with some steak and some other stuff the other day. And so what I did was I filled up my, I heated up the broth and the chicken and the vegetables. And then I dumped a bunch of rice in there. And then I poured that over the noodles. And I was like, oh yeah. It's like,
That sounds fantastic.
like chicken soup, but there's no room for the broth because it's all just carb. And I ate it and I gained like 3 pounds that night.
No, dude, like, I don't even, it's weird when you start, like, you start dieting, because I'm 12 days in, almost 13 days in now. And I count the days every day. I'm like, 79, like 100 times, then 78. And it's so weird, the stuff that you don't normally eat that you like, man, I would destroy that right now. Like, I was thinking about ramen noodles earlier and like getting like hard and shit. It's weird. I was like, dude,
that's how I get after 6 hours without carbs. Like, I'm like, God, I just need to eat something. I was like, God, I want some pancakes. I haven't eaten pancakes in like 2 years. I don't want pancakes.
Oh my gosh. I haven't even thought about pancakes, and you just said pancake. Dude, the fat ass, dude, I would slap it like a female's ass, but it's like a pancake, like a thick ass one. I go to Gatlinburg every year because I just love the damn city, and they have pancake houses everywhere, and they're so damn fat. They're so fat. Oh gosh, I don't even have to eat it. I'll just cut a hole in that bitch. Like, I don't even have to eat it. Put some delicious ass, super, not even, I don't want low fat, low sugar. I want full sugar, double fat, butter, syrup, and then just put a hole in it. Won't even eat it. I'll just put my penis on it.
Yeah, that's, no, I'm with you. I'm with
just
you.
Penis it. I don't even have to eat it.
Some pancakes are for eating, others are for squishing.
Yeah.
What do you, speaking of pancakes, this is way off topic. What do you think of the Aunt Jemima rebrand?
Okay. I have a bad opinion on this, probably. So I'm like weirdly conspiracy thinking, and I'm like, I think that maybe these people that like keep pushing this weird, like, we shouldn't have anybody of color on any type of food product. I feel like it's because they hate people of color and they just want to see no people of color on any shelf when they go in there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's those people that actually hate people of color, because there's nothing wrong with Aunt Jemima. She's beautiful. Like, there's nothing wrong with Mr. Beans guy, the guy from the Mr. Beans. I don't know what the hell he is.
Mr. Beans? Are you talking about like Uncle Ben's rice?
Uncle Ben's rice.
Mr. Bean. That's a Mexican guy on some black beans or some frijoles negras or whatever.
Mr. Beans. Yes, Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben. God rest his soul, Peter Parker. No, like, yeah, why did he's great. I thought he was a beautiful old man. And every time I saw his face, I felt warmth, comfort in my life.
The black chef on like Cream of Wheat and stuff.
Yeah, and the Butters, the Great Lakes.
I love the Land O'Lakes. Yeah, we removed the Indian but kept the land. Perfect.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, it's a secret. The people that spoke out against that we should not have people of color on stuff, they just didn't want them on there because they don't like them. If
I'm not mistaken, Aunt Jemima was like the first black woman millionaire. Like that, Aunt Jemima was like a person, it was some lady, that was her brand or whatever. And she became, I might be crazy, but I'm pretty sure she was like the first black female millionaire. And they're like, nope, fuck off. It's like Palm Cabin or something weird now.
I don't get it. And I think that's the issue. Like, I think people just don't want to see their faces, and I don't have it. Dude, I love Aunt Jemima. I thought she'd be something like I'm thinking about
You're from
her.
the South, though.
Yeah. No, what about, okay, I got a good example. What about Popeyes? Popeyes is a great example, because when you see Louisiana cooking commercials, I don't have cable, but when I used to see them, it would always portray the CEO being a black woman, and the CEO is actually like an old white lady. And they would always portray it as being this like black lady. And I'm like, they just lied for the brownie points.
Look, I'm going to give Popeyes a pass because, man, I love their fucking...
Oh, I'm not saying that don't eat... Dude, I would eat Popeyes right off that lady's ass. I don't even care. That unwashed ass.
That giblet gravy. Good. There's no other fast food place that I know of where you can get a giblet gravy that actually tastes good on their mashed potatoes.
Oh, my God. Everything. Dude, I don't give a damn what they give me. I'll eat it.
that weird ass cornstarch gravy that KFC uses. That's like, it's like, this is a dark gravy, and I know you didn't make a roux because this is too shimmery. This is cornstarch, not flour. So how the fuck did you even do that? I don't trust that gravy at all. I ate mashed potatoes from KFC when I was a kid. I will not do it now. Yep. Like now, if I go to KFC, I just get chicken strips and their KFC seasoned fries, which are good, and that's it. And the biscuits, of course. But Popeyes, I'll eat their mashed potatoes and gravy all day. I'll get a big ass thing of it, but there's none around me, so I can't go.
Pour it in a damn bathtub and lay in it. That's what I do. There's like 50 Popeyes around my ass.
Yeah.
It's like they're taunting me.
You're from the South. But see, I think there's a fundamental difference between sort of the Southern mentality and the Northern mentality when it comes to being around people of different races. Because they like to label the South as racist or whatever. I've found it to be the opposite.
That's what I tell people. I've been telling people that my whole life. They're like, I have one of my friends that was moving down here, and he was like actually legitimately afraid because he's like a Mexican guy. And he's like, dude, I'm so afraid of like racism. I'm like, dude, it's not a thing.
It's like really 8 million Mexicans right there. Like right there. They've got lowriders. Like, what do you just put on a bandana and go say, hey, they'll probably forget that they've never seen you before. It's fine.
Yeah. The most minority, like dense places are in Alabama, like Alabama, Mississippi, like Louisiana. Those places are like, and it's awesome. Like everybody's super nice. Like you can go anywhere. There was this little deli right beside my old GameStop. And I went in there every damn day for a year. And this is probably why I got real fat back then. I went in there every day, and there was this old black lady. Oh my God. I'd be like, give me some potato wedges, baby. And I want some that chicken and dumplings, and I want some of that corn. And she would, not only would she, give me it, but she'd call me baby. She'd like, I got you, baby. And then she would pack it on to where it was like stacked on the plate.
Yeah.
And she would just saran wrap it instead of like putting in because you couldn't fit the damn top on.
Right.
Oh my. And I did that every day. And I ate almost every damn bit of that every single day. And she was so sweet and loving. And then a year later, I went in there and it was some old little white lady. And she gave me the smallest portions I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, she don't even care about me. That black lady cared about me.
The black lady's like, oh, sugar, you need some meat on those bones.
Yeah.
You need to eat.
She did it too. She did. She made me fat as hell.
Well, someone I knew had an African American woman housekeeper. And this is not just a housekeeper. Like they kept the house, but they also, they took care of everybody. They were paid. Obviously, I haven't been alive since the 1800s or whatever. But yeah, and when I think of Aunt Jemima, I think her name was Stevie. I think of Stevie, because Stevie took care of everybody around you, and if you wanted pancakes or whatever, Stevie would make you pancakes. If you needed something, Stevie would take care of it. That was what she did, and she didn't do it begrudgingly. She wasn't like mad. It wasn't like some teenage kid doing a job. This is a woman who took pride in what she did. And it was like, so when I see them removing Aunt Jemima from the syrup, like to me, they're removing like the sort of the culture of sort of like affection that surrounds that Southern black hospitality. And it's a real thing. If you have not experienced sort of that Southern black grandma hospitality, then you have not lived. And it's a whole different worldview. And down in the South, it's pretty prevalent. You can go just about anywhere and find an old black lady working, and she's gonna call you baby. And she's gonna call you sugar, and she's gonna get you whatever you need, and probably a little extra. And it's like, when they got rid of Aunt Jemima, I was like, I will never buy their syrup. I'll buy Log Cabin. I'll buy literally the gay syrup instead.
Gay syrup.
Yeah, the Log Cabin Republicans, because they got a bunch of wood or whatever. I don't know why the fuck. Why, if you're the gay Republicans, why would you call yourself the Log Cabin Republicans? I don't get it. That's what they chose. It's their choice. # their choice. I don't understand it. Yellow Flash 2 says Tomorrow War is great. That's the new Amazon movie, I think.
Oh, Amazon movie, like Amazon the company.
Yeah, I think Amazon the company. Here, let me check. I think they're the exclusive distributor. But I think Chris Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt's in it. So people hate it automatically.
Oh, of course, it's because he doesn't go on Twitter and act like a freaking maniac all the time.
Right. It's an Amazon Studios production, and it's crazy to think because okay, let's be real. Netflix and Amazon, big shitty corporations, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll take Netflix and Amazon movies over Disney movies today.
Yeah, I probably would agree with that.
Like the Disney is putting out garbage, and Netflix, at least, I mean, The Night Comes for Us. That's my Netflix movie. I'll watch that all day. I wish it was on Amazon so I could do a watch party of it, but The Night Comes for Us. Amazon's got some good stuff. They've got trash too, but that's because they're just dumping out content. But yeah, so apparently Tomorrow War is good, says Flash, which, Flash has questionable taste. He's a big fan of Godzilla 1998.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing, and I don't think anybody likes that movie besides him.
Only him.
It's weird.
Which is pathetic, but look, to each their own. I mean, if Flash likes the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, that's on Flash. I don't. Andrew Snowboard says, you guys are cementing my desire to quit my job if I don't get the supervisor position. I need a new atmosphere, preferably less woke. Also, Camelot 331, hire me, please.
Well, that's what? Like my professional masseuse? Like, I don't think...
There you go.
Massage my ass cheeks?
You just need a guy to come up behind you and be like, yeah, go get it.
Yeah.
You're hype man.
Hype man.
Rub your shoulders, pump you up before you start recording a video.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe like give me a thumb every once in a while.
Well, hey, look, that's got to be off. That's got to be off the books. The legendary Devil Hunter Dante says, hey, Nick, I know y'all are talking about food, but I'm about to ruin it. Hopefully Cody remembers the story from just these 3 words. Chunky poo slide.
Chunky poo slide. That's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so it was McDonald's, and as you can probably imagine, McDonald's is a terrible place. And there was like that. You remember the play place at McDonald's? Like they had the place where kids could play. You automatically know how unsanitary that probably is.
Yeah, but there was unless you got someone going in there and bleaching all of the balls. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, there was like this one kid that apparently like projectile shit down like a slide, and all the kids were just sliding down shit. Like, and not only that happened, there was also kids just for some reason they thought it was fun to like piss in this one tube that went over the restaurant. Like, there was like a bunch of tubes there was like a huge one, and it went all over the restaurant, and there was kids just pissing in it, and it was just leaking from the top of the tubes through like the little glass barrier or whatever it was into the people's foods, and it was like raining, like it was leaking, but it was piss.
Dude, that's disgusting.
And I'm like, kids suck.
Yeah. Well, kids are horrible, but McDonald's is too. See, that reminds me. So the house I'm in right now is great. One of the bathrooms, I learned this because I have kids. If you didn't have kids, you would never learn this. But I learned this because I have kids. There's a bathroom upstairs, and it's got, it's Minnesota, so we got floor vents for heat.
Yeah.
You got to have the heat come in from the bottom, and so we got a floor vent for heat in the bathroom. One of my kids, they were like 5 years old, I think. They used too much toilet paper, plugged up the toilet. And so it gets plugged up, and they don't tell anybody because they're 5. And so it starts overflowing. And it's not that nasty, right? Like, this is not a gross, disgusting toilet. It's just a kid pee toilet. And it's mostly water. So that's the only good news in this entire story. But this thing starts overflowing. And they eventually come up, they're like, hey, Dad, the toilet's doing something weird. So I go in and look, and the whole floor is covered in water. And the water has made it to the floor vent. So it goes and just starts pouring into the floor vent. which means it then runs through the ducts. And oh no, this is how they told me, Dad, it's raining in the furnace room. And I'm like, what do you mean it's raining in the furnace? So I run down to the basement, and it's where our air conditioner and furnace are, the electrical boxes, and there's water just pouring out of the ceiling like a rainstorm. I'm like, what the fuck? And so then I ran upstairs, and then I found the water pouring into the vent. And I'm like, oh my God. So I turned the water off real quick. It's just like, oh, this is disgusting. That's your McDonald's story has triggered me in that way. But
at least it was diluted a little.
Yeah, a lot. We're talking like one kid's worth of pee versus gallons and gallons of water. But still, we had like stuff because the kids just throw shit all over the place because they're kids. So there's like stuffed animals all over the floor. It's like, well, these are going in a garbage bag. You're never getting I'm not washing this shit. That was a horrifying experience. Thank you for triggering me and thinking it would be a whole lot worse if it was just concentrated kid pee.
Oh gosh. Yeah. See, like, that's why I just can't, I don't want kids. And I think I'm getting a little too old anyway. So it's fine. I might be able to bypass it.
Someone has, does a lawyer know how to turn a valve off? Interesting. I do, but my kids do not. A 5-year-old can't turn the little valve on a toilet very well. And I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, I've had toilets flood in the past, but I don't usually have a floor vent in a bathroom.
If I was a kid, I would have just ran.
Yeah, and that's what they did. I
wouldn't have told anybody.
I don't think they even knew that it was flooding. Like, they literally just, like, they got done with the bathroom, hit flush, ran off, went to go play, and then, Dad, it's raining. It's sunny as hell.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, it was a mess. Spigot 84 says, I'm black and I want my Aunt Jemima back. Yes. Yeah, me too. Okay, so you're talking about you're going probably to your parents for 4th of July.
Yeah.
You gonna do anything? You're just gonna hang around, chill?
Yeah, probably just hang around. I mean, there'll probably be fireworks and stuff, but it's pretty much just hang. That's pretty much all we do. We don't really do anything cool, unfortunately.
Okay. No, that's the dream. So tomorrow, I have to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. I normally go to bed at 5:30 in the morning. So I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and I have to drive my whole family to this town about 40 minutes away. And then apparently I'm going to be out in like 96-degree summer weather for the entire day until fireworks at night. And all I want in the world is to just stay home and cook a brisket instead.
Oh my gosh. That's like, it sucks when there's so many things like added on that are out of your control and you have to just power through them.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, we were.
And it opens with a 5K walk/run.
Oh, what?
With kids, by the way, that's a walk. You're not running a 5K with children. So plus it's going to be hot. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to be out doing like a 5K walk first thing in the morning, and then spending the rest of the day outside in my own sweat and salt.
Oh God, that sounds just like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like an absolute nightmare.
It is.
Jesus.
It is. I found out about this today.
Dude, I would have been like, where's the nearest cliff? If somebody was like, hey, we got to start with a 5K tomorrow, I'd be like, you know what? You don't need your dad anymore.
Yeah.
Like you'll get money when they find my body. It's fine.
My wife's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay, so we got the fireworks tomorrow. You're talking about being in that town for a little while though. What else are we doing? She just looks at me and says, you don't want to know. I was like, that's where you're wrong. I want to know every single detail you can muster about this, because this does not sound, when you say I don't want to know, it means that I will hate tomorrow. So what's happening? And then she lays it on me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, the walk starts at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m., but the pre-registration's at 7:15. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh my
7:15.
God.
You know I'm barely asleep by then. Like, yeah.
That, you know what that reminds me of, and I don't know how people feel about this, but every time I used to go on vacation with my friends when I was like growing up, when I was like in my late teens and early 20s, we would get our, awesome place because we'd split it between us and we get like a big, house and rent it for a couple days or something on the beach or whatever. And they would always fill up every day with so much shit and be like, we
Oh
got to
my
go to 8
God.
places Monday and 7 places Tuesday. And I'm like, dude, I want to sit on the couch and like maybe like order a pizza and just hang out on the beach and like hang out in this giant place we rented for like
Yeah.
$1,000 per person. But they always want to do stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do stuff. I want to sit in the place that I rented.
Oh, dude, that's what traveling with my mom is like.
Mm.
She's like, what she'll do, and I love my mom to death, but what she'll do is she will go somewhere and she'll really enjoy doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is great. So then she's like, we're going to go to this place as a family like 2 years later. It's like, oh, we had such a good time going. We're going to go as a family and we'll bring all you guys out. It's like, cool. Yeah. I love to go to the big island of Hawaii or wherever it may be. This particularly happened on the big island of Hawaii. We get there and she's like, we need to do this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, I'm in Hawaii. I was kind of thinking I'd just sit outside and enjoy the fact that the weather is always 78 degrees. I would drink some little drinks with umbrellas in them or whatever.
Yep.
I might go get some Simon or something or some sushi. And then I'd come back and take a nap. Like,
that's why I have such a hard head now when I go on vacation. Like when I get there, I will I lay down the ground rules for everybody. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. Like I'm not going out and seeing the world famous donkey ride. I'm like, I don't give a damn about your donkeys. I want to sit in my damn place and eat the Italian pizza place that's local to only here and watch a movie. Like,
exactly.
And then go out on the beach or go get in the hot tub. I ain't about to go 2 hours away and throw some damn axes at Big Mike, and he'll understand that. Even though I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's not that it's not fun. It's just like I'm on vacation. Don't schedule me for something. Like that whole point is the rest of my life is scheduled. I don't want to schedule today. Like if I want to go throw axes, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I don't. If I call up the place and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, you had to book this out weeks ago. I'll be like, cool, my loss. Click.
Perfect. I'm so glad I did this now instead of earlier.
I'm going to lay down naked on a couch that isn't mine. This is going to be great.
Yeah. And that's one thing about, we had a race in Daytona and I was taking my, my race car down to Daytona, and Daytona's about 10 hours away from me. So we start heading there at like the ass crack of dawn. And the truck I borrowed broke down like 45 minutes into it. And renting a truck to tow something on 1 day notice is almost impossible, I found out. Yeah. So I had to drive like across the state to get another truck and then drive back to the gas station to get my trailer 9 hours later. And then I had to drive to Daytona again. Like because it was still another 10 hours. I get to Daytona. It's 6 a.m. The driver's meeting is an hour later. I've been awake for 30 hours. I hop in my car with nearly 1,000 horsepower and go out on the high banks of Daytona, like full throttle. And I haven't slept in 30 hours. And about a couple laps into it, hit some oil, hit the wall head on. And I expected it. And then I drove all the way home. I was like, pack it up. I'm going home. I don't feel good. And I was awake for about 40 hours. And I was hallucinating and seeing shit. It was the coolest experience and also the worst experience of my life.
Do you drive through Atlanta to get to Daytona?
I don't know. You don't know. I don't remember where I went, but it's just, you go straight south.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember going through Atlanta.
Do you go to Atlanta ever? Like in your travels?
I'm going to Atlanta next weekend. Yeah.
Next week? No, you're still going to be on your stupid diet though.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I will be there.
How do you go to Atlanta on a diet?
Oh, it's for racing nonsense. It'll only be like a 1 day thing, luckily.
I know, but that's like being a celibate monk going to a Vegas strip show. Like what?
Now I'm going to Vegas though. Like the week after my diet ends.
I was gonna tell you, there's a place in Atlanta you got to go to eat. It's called Homegrown.
Homegrown.
You said you like pancakes.
Oh my God. There's a place in Atlanta, speaking of that, I think it's called the Breakfast House or the Breakfast Club. And I got pancakes there and they were like an inch thick, man. I I could barely finish them, and I made myself finish them, then almost threw up. It was fantastic.
I saw a tiny, like 98-pound Korean woman try to eat the short stack of pancakes at Homegrown. They come out and she's like, "This is bigger than my body."
Yeah,
and I just laughed at her, dude. They're biscuits though. They're the best biscuits I've ever had in my entire life. So, but you gotta go. You gotta go when you're not on your diet, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of why. Like one of my favorite things about Vegas is just eating. Like there's so many great places in Vegas to eat, and that's like the whole reason I don't even gamble. I don't even go to the strip clubs. Although I probably will go to one, but I am going to be eating room service every night. Everything they have on the menu, I'm going to go ham as hell.
Yeah, strip clubs don't do it for me. Like
everyone
I've been to is just a bastion of depression.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's fun to take the most weakest link person in your group and then pay a chick to just go ham on them.
That's true.
That's
true.
The best part.
So the last time I was at a strip club in Minneapolis was when Dick Masterson came to town. We did the Dick Show live in Minneapolis. That was a lot of fun. And this is not the weakest link in the group by any means. The seat of honor went to Crippled Jesus. Crippled Jesus in a motorized wheelchair. And he was like 20, but we got him into the strip club anyway. Because like we looked at the bouncer, we're like, look at him. Come on. And they're like, okay, he can come in. So then people were just buying Crippled Jesus lap dance after lap dance, which was funny. But I bought a lap dance. I've never for myself have I purchased a lap dance, and I never would. Like, please keep the herpes away from me. Yep. I don't want it. But my buddy Clay was there, and Clay is not tall. He's like 5'4" maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
And this huge woman was a stripper. She's at least 6 feet. Just this Amazonian titan of strippery is there, and she's kind of eyeing Clay since he walked in.
Oh, Jesus.
And I bought him a lap dance, and she sits down on him, and like from her like thong strap to the curve of her ass was like as big as his entire chest.
Jesus.
So he sits down on him, and I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. He is literally a bad dragon dildo to her. Like that's
oh my god,
his whole body. God, it was one of the. That's I would spend that much. That is what I would spend at strip clubs all day.
Yeah. That's the best part about it. And the worst part about it is, for some odd reason, and I don't know what it is. When you go to a strip club, there's going to be one stripper that like picks you.
Yeah.
And they always come up to you. And I had this stripper come up to me. The first time I ever went to a strip club was in Vegas. And she was a real attractive girl, but she was a stripper, so that's fine. But she like kept coming up to me and being like, hey, for $100, I'll give you a blowjob or something like that. And I was like, I can't, I'm married. And then she came back 30 minutes later, hey, I'll do it for free, and and we can have sex for $100 in the back. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm married. And she's like, okay. And then she comes back an hour later and just picks me up like a baby, takes me over to the corner, and she's like, hey, we can just do it for free because I think you're cute. And I'm just like, I'm married, but I wore cargo shorts. And she was just reaches in there like it's free, like a buffet or something.
Yeah,
and just grabs my junk, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
That's a discount bin at Best Buy on Black Friday. Like you just reach in and grab it. Okay.
Yeah, she literally just went for it, and then she was like, "What about now?" And I was like, "I'm married." And then she's like, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm married. I just said it." And I'm like, "Look." And in retrospect, my wife left. I probably should have just clapped the damn stripper, man.
No, you'd have the clap. Like it would.
Oh, that's no big deal.
It would clap back.
I've been there, man. We've all been there.
No. So I only ever go to the strip club with my wife.
Right.
Because I never have like a personal occasion to go to a strip club. It's not, like I said, all the ones I've ever been to, the women are not attractive. It's overall depressing. I don't want to be there anyway. So I go with my wife at like an event, and we'll go hang out for like, an hour, and then we'll leave. And that's that. We'll have a couple drinks and then we go. This this is the same place where I bought Clay, the giant ass stripper. The lady who had picked us out as a couple, and turns out she was like focusing on my wife, which was even better, was like this 50-year-old, some brand of Southeast Asian woman. And she had like a funky eye that like looked off to the side. So she comes up and she's like, "You want a lap dance?" And I was like, "Nah, we're good." And she looks at my wife. She's like, "You want a lap dance?" She goes, "No, thank you. No, thank you." And then she looks at me and then just walks away like angry.
Yeah.
Like, you thought this is an easy mark. Turns out though, you've got an eye that looks in a different direction than your other eye. And to me, that says that you are not a high quality stripper. I'm sorry.
No, I was at a strip club recently, and my roommate's this tiny little girl that looks like she's like 12 years old. And we went to the strip club, and it was the first time she ever went to one. And she literally looks like just a little kid, but she's like, 25.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me clarify. You have a female roommate?
Yeah, she's been my roommate for like a couple years now.
Okay. What's your Pornhub account name? Just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we're super friends. I see her like as like my daughter that I don't have. So I went to a strip club, and this ginormous stripper just like put her whole face, like her whole little ass head in this giant stripper's boobies, and was just like rubbing them all over. And it was hilarious because she's like 4'11" and tiny. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I'm like waiting for the rest of the story. It's like, no, but that is the story. Like take a little tiny person, just cram them into oversized inflated tits. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's what they're for, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why God invented fake boobs.
Yep. Yeah, or for females that get on like testosterone, they can get boobies, and then they can still be ripped and fit looking, and also have boobies, and not pecs. Trust me, every girl at my gym has like fake boobs because they have to, because they're all on like steroids. So
yeah, no, it's weird. I know a couple chicks who do, like, when I say they do CrossFit, I mean like we're talking they do CrossFit.
Yeah.
One of them was invited to like the world competition and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, they start to look like men. They got weird like broad shoulders that make me look little. And I'm like, you could stop that now. That's okay. And they get flat chested and this weird like pecs, and it's like, no, this is not right. Like this is not what God intended. You're supposed to be I respect a muscular woman, but like God made you a little softer than that. So
it's Anavar. Most females can't actually get that way without some kind of gear like Anavar or something, like a low dose and then like testosterone. And
I don't even know what Anavar is.
Anavar is a type of, like anabolic steroid that a lot of females use. I mean, a lot of people use it, but females specifically kind of gravitate towards that. And that's kind of what causes all that. So they always get fake boobs because it keeps their feminine aspect also. And they also look shredded and have huge shoulders and shit.
Yeah, the shoulders get me. I actually don't want a chick with broad shoulders. Like I don't like that triangle look on women.
There's a part of me that wants them to punch me in the face a little bit. But like,
yeah, you want him to almost knock you out with a chokehold first.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go to sleep, Camelot, you motherfucker.
Yeah, there was a time where in 2017, 2018, where I was like hooking up with every single girl at my gym because I was crazy, and my wife had left, and I was just going ham as hell, and I was in great shape. And I would hook up with all these girls that were like on, Anavar or whatnot, and they'd be ripped as hell, and it was great. They would hold me down and go to town on my ass. I just laid there. It's great. I enjoyed it.
How many times have you been pegged?
Oh shit! I can't even count on one hand.
Okay, Eddie sent in a chat. He says, I worked for Rent-A-Center for about 8 months. Terrible place. Many of the people who rented were illegal immigrants or people with no other options. They prey on the pores I regret things I had to do there. Repoed a child's bed from a crying mom. Shameful.
Jesus.
God, that would be that's the red pill for me. Like that's the day you quit, right?
Yep. Yep.
I can't do it. I
Like,
couldn't do that.
there's got to be an exception to the rule every now and then. Every now and then. Like, oh my God. And there's a place like that around me called Electronic Express, and it's unbelievable. They're so awful. So like I'm pretty sure the owner's been arrested like 5 times for fraud or something. It's pretty insane.
Oh, that's yeah, I can't. There are limits. Like I'm a cold bastard. I really am on a lot of this stuff. I'm like, okay, you know, like you entered into the agreement, you didn't fulfill the agreement, it's got to go. But you try and get me making minimum wage or whatever, or like maybe a buck above minimum wage to go take a mom's like a bed from a kid. Like that to me, that's a bit strong. Like,
And you know the owner's going to do it. The owner is going to make you do it. The minimum wage guy, he's not going to go do it.
Yeah. Well, because he knows he'll get knifed.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's gonna send you out there. He's like, well, this family's last name is Gonzalez, so why don't you go out? It's like, wait, why don't you go out? He hands you a phone book and some duct tape and like protect yourself. No, thank you. No, I do not. I don't want to be involved in that at all. That is, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna have me do that, you better be paying me a lot.
Yeah, my old manager, when I used to work at GameStop, I had a store manager above me for like 2 or 3 years, and every time there was an issue like that, he would just go to the back room and lock the door and just make me handle it every time. And he would also bust ass. He'd like fart and then walk back to the back room and then like he'd be like, "Hey, you take this for me." And well, the funny part is he was like a 550-pound guy, so it was even worse when he farted because there was something grosser about it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's like he definitely can't reach that when he's washing.
That's
so. Oh God, that guy.
The morbidly obese or pitiable humans.
It sucks, man. Like, and I know a lot of people get offended, and I get it. But you can't use the excuse for every single person that's morbidly obese that they have a medical condition. I'm sorry. That's only like a 0.5% of them, maybe. And they're always like, well, they could have a medical condition. I'm like, yeah, they could, but they probably don't.
Literally a maybe.
Yeah.
Like that's not even necessary. That's what I loved about, I watched a little bit of that, my 600-pound life show.
Yeah.
And that doctor is the most based dude on the planet.
Oh my God. Oh, and it's funny because no one ever stands up to these like people. Like their family are scared and enable them. And he walks right in and he's like, "You'll eat too much because you're fat." And it's like, what? And they're like, you can't say that to me. And he's like, "I can't say it to you. And I just did. You're fat." And I'm just like, oh, I love this motherfucker.
I like he did that. They did a gastric bypass on some dude. He's this giant guy. And he's like, "Look, if I eat, I throw up. And so I don't want to eat." And the doctor says, "You think this is problem?" He's like, "You're not going to die if you don't eat. You're going to live." Yeah. And the guy's like, but I'm not eating. And he's like, "Yeah, it's the point."
Yep. Oh my gosh.
And then there's the big chick who's like, "No, I'm telling you about my body." He's like, "Are you trying to teach me medicine?" But
man, I love him.
The crazy thing about that though is it's what you said. You know, the family's all scared of him. There's always an enabler.
Yep.
That's what makes a fatso. It's not like because nobody, no matter how much Victoria's Secret wants to lie about it, no one wants to look like a horrendous fatso. Like nobody wants that. Even if they are that, they might be cool with it. But, you know, nobody is like, "You know what? I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to get to 600 pounds. That's going to be great."
Yeah. That takes like, damn, 20 years, man.
Right.
That's a long time.
But when you see these kids, like I saw a kid walking into Walmart, little Mexican kid. He's probably like 5 years old. And he easily was 100 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Just
a circle.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, just
like,
a circle.
like he walked a little bit and then he tripped and fell and just rolled back to his feet and kept going. No, and I thought this kid he's sitting there walking from the car to Walmart and he's and I'm like, this kid needs a ventilator from walking 100 yards. This is not okay.
Yeah, and you'll be at a restaurant and you'll see like, and it's how the family operates, and it's like their whole diet, because you'll see like a dad that's like 500 pounds, a mom that's like 400 pounds, and they have two like sons that are like 7, and they both are perfect circles, probably weigh 150 pounds, and you see that and you're just like, man, that like I would literally just want to die, because those kids don't know any better. They're just getting fat as hell because their parents keep feeding them damn freaking Hot Pockets shit.
Yeah, and
like for every meal.
It's like, here's Hot Pockets, and between Hot Pockets, here's a whole bag of Lay's each.
Oh,
like
fuck.
just shove them in, and they don't do anything. And I used to work with a fat chick, and she didn't want to be fat. This is great. This is before all the Me Too shit and the cancel culture. So she would have me make fun of her for being fat as motivation to get her ass on the treadmill when she got off work. And so like I'm at work just cracking fat jokes all day at this chick, and she's laughing at him or whatever. But one time I come back, and what I would do for lunch, because I worked a desk job, this is at Thrivent, I'm in the office. So I would go, and most days, except when I went to Eddington's for all you can eat soup, because all you can eat soup is fucking great. But most days I would go, I would pick up food, and I wouldn't eat it during my lunch break. I would bring it back and eat it after lunch. And I would walk about 1 mile, 2 miles during my lunch break through the Minneapolis Skyway system. So I come back and I got like a Chipotle burrito or something, which was like, it was like 3/4 miles away. It was perfect because I walked there, stand in line, get the burrito, walk back. It's 1.5 miles of exercise. And then I sit down, I eat the burrito and go on with my day. And I would go to lunch early. So I sit down and she goes, I'm not hungry, but I guess I'm going to go to lunch and eat. And I was like, or you could not eat since you're not hungry. And she said, but it's lunchtime. I said, that's why you're fucking fat. like you're not hungry. But that's a parent thing, right? Like the parents code this into you. It's lunchtime. You've got to eat. Yeah. If your kids aren't hungry, don't shove food in their mouth. They're not going to die if they don't have a lunch.
My aunt, I had an aunt that did this. And you know how every parent probably, I don't know if it's because I'm from the South, they'd always want you to clear your plate. But I had an aunt that would yell at you. She would be like, you're not leaving this table and you're not going and playing video games or anything with your cousins unless you finish your plate. And she'd get real mad about it. And I'm just like, but I don't like whatever the hell this is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't want to eat it. So that's probably why. That's probably why that whole family is overweight too.
My wife always like gets frustrated with me because I'll get done with my plate and there'll be like gravy or juice or like dressing or depending on what you eat, there's some residue left. And you look over at her plate and it looks like it has been licked clean. Yeah. Because she'll take the last remnants of food and scoop everything up. And like if she can't finish something, she will put it onto my plate.
Yep.
Because it's been conditioned into her that she has to have a clean plate. And I mean, me, like if I'm like, I don't want this. So I just throw the shit away or whatever. Yep. Like I'm done eating and I'm not crazy. So I'm not going to sit there and force myself to eat the rest of this food. We're not talking like there's never leftover filet mignon on my plate.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
There's never leftover ribeye, but other foods, it's like, I'm not going to finish this. I'm grown up enough. I can just throw this away and I'll be okay. Cause I know that there's more food coming at the next meal, but no, it's the parents, man. The parents do it. They condition these kids. And, when you hear about particularly low income kids in the inner cities, when they come home from school, like they got two parents working or they got a single mom who's working or whatever, like they come home and they just grab a bag of chips and they sit down in front of a TV and just eat. And that's the rest of their day. And it's like, Jesus, we've got to stop making these kids fat.
It's something to do with bank tellers. And the reason I say that is every time Okay, so I worked, obviously I worked at GameStop. I had to go to the bank every day
Yeah.
during my lunch break that I didn't get paid for, and I would drop off the deposit from the previous day. That's what I always did, and it was like, I just did it every single day, and I would go in there, and there would be like these three like ladies working behind the counters, the three bank tellers, and they were all morbidly obese. And slowly they would get replaced by this tiny little like frail girl or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would be like, oh, look, there's a new frail girl. She's adorable. And I shit you not, 6 months later, that little girl is 250 pounds every time. And I'm like, what is it about banking that makes these tellers so fat? And then they go home and they make their kids fat too. It all starts with the banks. I'm telling you.
It's the banks. And who owns the banks? Who owns the bank? No, just kidding. This goes back to that line in
call
Fiddler,
ended
on Fiddler on a Roof, right? Like,
oh god,
if he were a rich man, he'd have a wife with a proper double chin, right?
Yep.
No, it's weird because I worked at banks, and now that you mention it, yeah, all the chicks plumped up. They plumped up working at the bank.
And they always had candy. I remember walking up to the bank teller,
Suckers.
and they always had a bowl of candy right beside them that they were probably smashing the whole damn time. Man, I don't know what it is. I had to walk a lot, so I couldn't get big. Like, even no matter what I ate, I wouldn't get really that big. But damn,
dude, so you mentioned working retail and how fucking soul crushing it is.
Yes,
I worked retail banking at 3 different banks.
Oh god,
and it is equally soul crushing. Actually, so I worked Circuit City, and you mentioned working at GameStop. You didn't have commission at Circuit City. When I worked there, we still had commission. They transitioned off of commission in my last 6 months of employment, and that's not the reason I quit. I quit because I went to college, but yeah. So they still had commission, but then they stopped. When I worked at Wells Fargo, that was the by far highest pressure sales environment I've ever been in. And the sales were weird because it's not stuff that costs money. It's like open a checking account, open a savings account, open a debit card, get them a personal equity or a personal line of credit, and then a home equity line of credit or whatever. These things, for the most part, didn't cost any money. But dear God, was it high pressure. And that was worse than anything I've ever done in my entire life. I hated every second of it. You
would think it, and you would think like going into it, it wouldn't be that way because people go there with a specific need. Like they're like, okay, I need this bank account or I don't, or I need to deposit money or I don't, or whatever. So It's like weird that they were like, hey, you have to open like 5 bank accounts today. It's like, how the hell am I going to do that? What if 5 people don't come in?
it was 7.5 products a day was your goal. And the end goal was actually, they called it Go for Great, GR8, 8 products per customer. So, because market research had determined that once you had 8 banking products, it was really fucking annoying to change to a different bank.
Yeah.
Right. Like you got your checking account, your savings account, probably like a small investment account, a credit card, a home equity line of credit. That's just 5 products. A debit card is 7, online banking or 6, online banking 7, and then bill pay with your online banking is 8. So you get all that stuff. Your bills are being paid automatically every month. You got a credit card, you got a debit card, you got all your normal banking products. And then if you think about it, it's like, well, I want to switch from Wells Fargo to US Bank, but I got to fucking undo everything. Like I got to talk to every company I've talked to and get them all my automatic payments changed. It's a pain.
Oh God.
It's a pain.
That's why I won't do it. I won't do it either. I have a bank that's awful and it's far away and I still won't do it either.
Yeah. It's, but that was it. So you had to, your goal was 7.5 products a day. And like you said, what if there's not 7.5 bank accounts that need to be opened a day?
Yeah.
And even though I was in downtown St. Paul, oftentimes there just wasn't, because we had 6 personal bankers. So you're spreading out all of the business that walks in over 6 people over a particular time. And most of the people who are coming in there, they're coming in on a Friday to cash their check. because they can't have a bank account because they got, hit for check fraud or kiting checks or something in the past. And so they're there and got some of my favorite working memories was me telling my district manager to fuck off. And there's a guy named Robert Hoke. He had the biggest fake corporate smile on the planet.
Yeah.
And so at Wells Fargo, they have this apron. You're supposed to, they have stage coaching. That's where a banker goes behind the teller line and coaches a teller on how to do their job, which is insulting, really, because tellers do a completely different job than bankers. But we're supposed to coach them on selling people, on referring them to us so that we can sell them products. So you do stage coaching. And then the other one is stage directing. And that's where you go through the line of people that are just waiting to cash their check and leave. And you try and get them to come to your desk to get products, right? So when you do this, because the Wells Fargo wagon and the stagecoach and all that bullshit, they have you put on a denim apron to wear. You're wearing a fucking suit. You're in a suit and tie. And they're like, put on this denim apron and go through the line of like Mexicans who are in line on Friday to cash their check from a Wells Fargo banking employer. And so Robert comes up to me one day and he's like, Nick, I'm going to need you to do some stage directing. I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll go through the line. I went through like 20 minutes ago. No one needed anything. He's like, I'm going to need you to go through again, but this time I need you to wear the apron. And I looked at him and I said, Robert, you pay me $9.50 an hour. I'm not wearing an apron. I'm not wearing a denim apron to go through the line. He's like, no, it's part of the Wells Fargo policy. You wear the denim apron. You go through. It helps with sales. It'll help you because it's got these pockets and you've got a notepad and a pen. I'm not even joking. And he's like, so I'm going to need you to do that. I said, tell you what, Robert, why don't you do it? Because I'm not going to. And he goes, okay, I bet you I can go get someone right now and bring them to your desk. I'm like, you do that, buddy. You do that. This is the director of like 5 big branches of Wells Fargo, right? He's a district manager.
Yeah.
So he goes through that line and he diligently talks to every non-English speaker in it. And I don't say that in a denigrating way. I say that to illustrate this is a Friday, it's payday, and these are day workers who many of them might not even have citizenship and can't open accounts. All they want to do is cash the check from their employer and leave. Like that's literally
right.
They want their $800 for the week. And so he goes through and he comes back to me and I said, how'd it go, Robert? He says, well, I had some promising conversations, but no one wanted to come sit down at the table. But I think it's probably, some people took down they took my business card. I gave them your business card so they could call you. I was like, sure. Yeah, I did that too. You know what that means, Robert, in reality terms, is it means that you didn't get anybody to come to my desk. And if I had done that, you would have reprimanded me. It's like, no. I'm like, you're literally here reprimanding me for not having someone at my desk. Why don't you go leave now? And so he walked off, but I was like, I'll do this. I'll go through the line every 20, 30 minutes. That's fine. But I'm not wearing a stupid apron because I'm literally wearing a suit and tie. Why would you want me to wear an apron? If you want me to wear an apron, why don't I come in jeans and a t-shirt or a polo or something at least?
Yeah. The funny thing about that is that same situation would happen to me all the time. And my district manager knew nothing back when I was at GameStop. He knew nothing about anything.
Yeah.
Like he had no idea what a damn video game even was. He pronounced them wrong all the time. Didn't know the difference between an Xbox or PlayStation, none of that. And he would get on to you if you didn't make the arbitrary, terrible goals that were unachievable, really.
Yeah.
And I would and usually if you just stand up to those kind of people, they'll just be like, okay, well, they'll just go to somebody else and ask them to do whatever. But he would go out there and he's like, oh, I could get somebody a subscription card right now. And he'd go talk to everybody in his fake corporate jargon and get no one. And I'm like, dude, you're not better than me. Like you just read a piece of paper and then go into the store and think that's how it is. And none of these people have ever even like stepped in a store before they make all these policies and these sales goals. Right. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
Rogue Jen in the chat says, did he wear the apron? Yes. The man is he's in a black suit, a nice black suit. I mean, he made $200,000 a year. He's in a nice black suit, a nice tie. I don't remember if it was black or whatever. He's in a white shirt. He looks like a businessman. And yeah, he puts on a denim apron that has Wells Fargo in gold embroidered on the top, and then a fucking embroidered red stagecoach silhouette on the middle. And he walks up to these people as if he's serious. It's like, Robert, if you just took off the apron and walked up to someone in a suit and said, hey, you know what? I'm the district manager of Wells Fargo. I love this company. That's why I'm a district manager. I've been working here for a decade. And I really believe in our products. I believe they could help you too. Why don't we come sit down, talk to one of our bankers, see how we can help it out? He'd probably have gotten somebody. But instead, he walks up with a fucking denim apron and you expect him to have mustard stains all over or whatever. And nobody wants to go sit down with him. Shocking move. Shocking move. There's still some people who believe that like the retail bank, like I'm going to go talk to my banker as if that's a thing. There are people who believe that. I know when I started working at Wells Fargo, I believed that being a banker was like a thing because it used to be. In the 50s and 60s, a banker was a high paying job. It was a trusted position. It wasn't just a salesman. It's someone who you went to with your financial issues and they helped you resolve them. Now it's just a retail sales spot, but a lot of people don't know that. So if you say that, let me bring you over to one of our bankers. We're going to help you out. We're going to take care of you. We're going to treat you right. This will be your personal advisor who's going to help you figure out your financial needs. They're like, oh, wow, this is cool. I didn't know I could do this when I only make $30,000 a year. But Wells Fargo's corporate strategy was the exact opposite. It was like, we want to look like we're panning for gold in 1879 in California, like we're the last guy left after the gold rush. And that'll make sense. That's going to get people to, it doesn't, like you said, they're these people, they've never set foot in a retail environment in their lives. They don't know who's walking through the door. And they're creating these policies that make no sense. Drives me fucking nuts.
That's how it works. I've watched it my whole life, and employee feedback never mattered. They'll do that thing every year where we're going to do an employee survey and see what people think about stuff, and then 2 months later it'll be like, we're going to be open on Thanksgiving Day all day because employees on the survey said they wanted to be open on Thanksgiving. I'm like, my ass. Did they say that? No one said that.
We want to be open. Yeah, 3 of them said they wanted to be open on Thanksgiving because they didn't want to, they didn't have anything else to do. But who wants to work on Thanksgiving? It's the greatest holiday on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it, I don't know. It's all BS. And they always do this thing. And you said something about Chipotle eating a burrito earlier.
Yeah.
My next video is about Chipotle, which is ironic.
Oh, what's the preview?
The preview is, okay, so the pandemic made a lot of corporate companies, the violent greed come out full force. So the thing with Chipotle likes to, their actual motto is cultivating a better tomorrow. Their actual motto is treating employees fairly. Their actual motto is food with integrity. The thing about those things is none of them actually are true.
Yeah.
There is currently probably 20 to 30% of Chipotles in America are currently going through lawsuits right now, health code violations. No one is checking temperature on foods because they don't have time because they are so understaffed that they actually have to basically cut all the corners just to make ends meet in those stores and keep up with demand. So all these people are filing lawsuits. There's rats in almost every store now. Their corporate is supposed to come and close your store and clean it when that kind of thing happens. They're not doing it right now. There's actually a chain in New York, 80 Chipotles in New York, or 90 maybe. I think it's either 80 or 90. All had rat infestation issues, and New York actually had to bring a lawsuit like on the doorstep of a Chipotle just for them to react in any way. And there was employees that have been complaining for months.
That's disgusting.
And they won't do anything about it until there was a lawsuit on their doorstep because they just want maximum profits because there's no one working in the stores right now because they're so understaffed and they're intentionally cutting hours and overworking people because they see more profit from that. They've learned it from the pandemic. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the food. I mean, food is in danger. I haven't eaten at a Chipotle in a long time.
Yep, me too. It's
Um,
been years.
yeah, it's been at least 2 years for me, maybe longer. There's not one in my town, so that makes it easy. I will go to Qdoba. Qdoba they have a little bit better food than Chipotle for the most part. I liked Chipotle burritos. Like I had no problem with them, but man, the health. It seemed like every other week there was literally a salmonella outbreak at Chipotle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I didn't even mention that in my video. That sucks. I filmed it earlier, and I was going to mention how there was like E. coli and all kinds of stuff that was outbreaking, and I didn't even mention it. But I guess they can Google it. It's fine. I'll just put it in like text in the edit. But that's the issue, and the pandemic pretty much brought that full force. Every company's like weaknesses have been brought to light because they've been really highlighted from the fact that they're so understaffed. And I like Moe's anyway. I'll go to Moe's, man. Moe's, there's a place.
Moe's.
It's a place in my town. It's called Moe's. It's like a burrito shop, and oh my gosh, they'll fill it up with queso. They'll fill it up like a damn like a glass, like the burrito. They'll fill it off and pour just queso in that bitch. Oh, it's delicious.
Oh man.
Oh.
In my town, there's El Guerrerito, like the little warrior.
Sounds sexy.
And it's got they have really good street tacos. Their burritos are big as fuck. I can barely eat one. Like they're these big ass things. They come on a plate. You can't pick them up because they'll fall apart. They're huge. That place is good. And then the other place is Gilberto's, and they have a breakfast burrito, and it's all the meat plus potatoes and eggs. And it's like it's the most unhealthy shit I've ever eaten. It's like steak, pork, chicken, I think another type of pork. You got carnitas, and then you have bacon, and then you have hash browns, and then fucking scrambled eggs. It's like, yeah, this is good. Let me just pour some green tomatillo salsa on it and start eating it. And then I feel like I want to die, but I'm happy about it.
Oh, like that. No one ever talks to food like at me, and it's been like 13 days on my diet now. And gosh, when I just start hearing like the description of all these, I'm just like, like it's just like my stomach hurts, and I cannot wait until it's 70 days from now.
Let me tell you about steamed chicken breasts. Oh yeah. Steamed unseasoned chicken breast. That is
I love it.
So you need in your life. I hope you cook them all in batches and put them in the fridge so you can just reheat them later in the microwave for that extra radiation taste.
And that fourth day, when you get to the fourth one, it tastes like you cut off somebody's toe out of a grave and you're sucking on it. That's what it tastes like.
No, my God. You're right. Like if you're just eating chicken breasts over and over, that's true. That's the thing. I can't do it, man. I've tried, and I'm like, but what if I want something else? So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to just not eat carbs for a couple weeks. Because I didn't eat carbs yesterday. I lost 3 pounds.
Carbs are the devil.
I'm not even exaggerating. I was like, let's see, do I eat carbs or do I instead? What I've been doing is I got a spring mix, like a big fucking box of spring mix. And I pour a little olive oil and some sesame seeds and some pepper and Cajun seasoning on that. And then I had a couple andouille sausages because I didn't have any chicken breast or anything to grill up. So 2 andouille sausages and then the spring mix with the olive oil and the sesame seeds. That was good. It was really tasty, but it keeps you full for about, like an hour.
Oh my gosh. Like when it comes to me and the chicken, I've not been full since I started the diet. Like there is no full. It's just like, how bad is the pain?
Yeah, you've been mildly tided over for a bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I ate a little bit of like a flank steak the other day, like a couple ounces of a flank steak, and I was so starving. 20 minutes later. Oh my God.
Hootskin says down 100 pounds for the better part of 7 years. Eat chicken breast at least 5 days a week for 7 years. You can do it.
Yeah, I did it. I did it for 2 years from 2015 to 2017. I did it nearly every single day. And it was easy because McDonald's back in the day offered grilled chicken wraps, and I could go there and buy them and like pound 2 of them in the afternoon during lunch, and then go home and eat my grilled chicken, and it was fine. and it was easy because those grilled chicken wraps actually taste pretty good. And then the pandemic cutting costs. Every single restaurant, like fast food restaurant, completely got rid of all their healthy options because no one cares about that anymore. They all care about the unseen health of like COVID, not actually real health of your body. So
Right.
no one, like all those no one offers that anymore. So now I have to make my own chicken for every meal.
Yeah, none of them put together the fact that if you're in your BMI, have a reasonable cholesterol and a decent vitamin balance, that you don't really die.
Yep.
and so instead they're worried about getting sick. And me, I'm like, I just don't want to like, if I do get sick, I've been sick before. I don't want to die from it. Like, can we avoid that? And people forgot that aspect of health.
Yep, they don't care anymore.
I'm glad that that's on your diet, though.
Yeah, it like makes the hunger go away for like 35 seconds.
Is that why you do it?
Yep.
I thought you did it to stay awake.
I did it my last diet too, which was great. I went from like 190 to like 146, and I was like 7% body fat. It was awesome.
So just chugging a fucking vinegary hot sauce
every now and then, like once every 30 minutes to an hour. That's what I do.
That's disgusting.
Yep, and I don't know why, but it makes like calms my stomach.
No, I think they've said spicy food increases metabolic processes.
Yeah, and about 3 weeks in or 4 weeks in, I want to do it anymore because it's like your stomach almost it shrinks and it becomes used to the idea of not being able to eat much, so it doesn't get that bad after that. But the first couple weeks are awful.
Now, do you get down? Do you do the thing where you eat like a bunch of little meals?
Yeah, 7 times a day.
Yeah, that's the hard thing for me because that's what I preferred. I did like Insanity and P90. I did not finish P90X. I finished Insanity, but I did not finish P90X several years ago. And the Insanity, if you do it, if you like fully go into it, they have a meal plan and everything, and you got to cook everything specifically, and you're eating 5-6 times a day. And that was great, except I don't have fucking time to cook 5 to 6 times a day anymore.
Yeah.
And it's
that's where the food prepping comes in. You can cook it all like in one day or in like a morning, just cook them all throughout the day and then throw them in some tubs and smash them later.
Not on their meal plan. On their meal plan, you better, it's like, yeah, have a nice grilled salmon over like whatever. It's like grilled salmon doesn't keep in the fucking fridge, bro. You can't just, you can't do that. That's not the same thing. And so it was good when my wife and I were both doing it because, you know, you're cooking every time for the two people. But that was while I wasn't employed. so I could kind of make it happen with the time, but that was between my my job at Thrivent and then before I started law school. And so then once I started law school, it was game over. I mean, there was no way was I going to do that. And then since then, I haven't had any kind of time to fucking cook 5 to 6 meals a day. But.
Yep. It's a weird lifestyle change. And the weird thing about it is once you get through your 90 days and you hit your goals, it's so hard to break from it. Like you just keep doing it. And I did it. The first time I did this, I was going to do it for 90, 3-4 months. And a year and a half later, I'm still doing it. And I don't know why. I guess it's just because obsession over like the control you have over yourself. I don't know what it is, but I just kept doing it. But then eventually I started eating Hamburger Helper and mac and cheese and shit. And I got out of that. But
yeah, it's like some asshole ruins it for you, right? Because you're doing your thing. You're like, yeah, I'm going to cook these chicken breasts. I'll cook the salmon, whatever. I'm going to eat a salad. I don't want a salad, but I'm going to eat a salad. No, I'm not going to put any dressing on it because that's a heathen thing. And so then you get kind of used to doing that. You get in your rhythm. And then it's like, oh, we're going to go on vacation with your in-laws or whatever. And they're like, here you go. Here's tuna macaroni salad. I'm like, are you serious? What part of this is salad? The mayonnaise?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, and that's the thing is it was Tinder for me.
Yeah.
It was 2017. I was hanging out with girls off Tinder every damn day. Like a new girl every day. And they would bring over a bottle of tequila and like some freaking Doritos or something. And I hadn't had Doritos in like 5 years at this point. And they bring over tequila and Doritos, and that was it. Like I was smashing that every other day with different random people.
For
Mm.
me, it's ramen and
Oh,
and believe it or not, a can of chicken, like the chopped up chicken breast in a can,
yeah.
because I'll throw that shit in the ramen. But what happened was, so they used to have the little ass cans of chicken, and now you go to Walmart and they got the big ass cans of chicken, and they're 28% more than the previous big cans of chicken.
Oh,
And
dude.
it's like, what am I going to do? Use half a can and like put this one in the fridge? That's degenerate. No, I'm just going to eat the whole thing. So I'll sit down. It's like I'm going to eat ramen with this can of chicken in it. And it's like, that's a lot of fucking chicken and that's a lot of fatty calories. It's really, and it's delicious. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Like,
There's a, I think it's called Sister Sue or something, the brand. Chicken and dumplings. That's how I am. They like started making a bigger can of that just chicken and dumplings you can buy in a can and put on a pot and just put like some black pepper in and heat it up. Dude, I smash all that. Oh, it's so good.
oh, I
Mm.
used to get the dumpling plate at Cracker Barrel. So I would
Oh,
go,
dude. Oh my God. I was just thinking about that.
I would go in and
Oh.
I would get an order of chicken and dumplings, and for the 3 vegetables, I would get 1 mashed potatoes and cream gravy and 2 extra orders of dumplings. And so it was like this
Oh.
plate of just white carby nonsense. And I would eat that. And God, I fucking miss being like 23, right?
Yeah.
I could just eat
Oh.
that all day. Oh, it was so good. And now, like, I go and I get like one little thing of a little side, and I eat it. I'm like, okay, I get through half of it, and I'm like, I'm kind of full.
Yeah. Like the funny thing is when I was 28, and I was kind of like not doing the diet thing anymore. But I was still eating my grilled chicken wraps like, throughout the day. I would kind of eat terrible all the time, and I never like I'd stay at around 150, 160 pounds, and then I hit 30 or 29 and I skyrocketed like 190 off the same diet.
Yeah.
So yep, that's just how it is. Gosh, it's so delicious though. That Cracker Barrel chicken and dumplings is unmatched.
It's so
Oh,
good. It's
oh
so, and
god.
of course, you get your side of biscuits too to help
Oh,
out.
dude, I get it. I'll get the chicken dumplings and then corn and then like steak fries for some reason. I'm just getting all that shit and biscuits.
Have you ever had the baked apple dumpling there? The dessert?
I don't know. I probably have, but I don't know.
When you're off your diet, it's one of the cheapest things on the menu. I swear it's 2,000 calories by itself. It's this like apple and oatmeal crisp with like, they call it a baked apple dumpling, and then they cover it with like fucking caramel sauce and ice cream. And it is ridiculous. Like, you could just go there and eat that as a meal and still get diabetes from it.
Oh god, it sounds awesome.
It's a winner. It's a winner. But so, okay, Cracker Barrel is one of the best business models on the entire planet, right?
Yeah.
Here's how much Minnesota sucks for food. Every Cracker Barrel in the state except one closed down.
Jesus.
Every other state in the entire country is opening Cracker Barrels like on a monthly basis. Like, you got, if you drive down, no matter where I go, if I'm driving to Texas, I'm going down 35, or if I'm going down 29 because I'm taking the Iowa route, or if I'm driving down to Florida and you go over to Chicago and shoot down. Once you get to Wisconsin, there's Cracker Barrels everywhere. There's one in Minnesota. And like, it was so bad. During the pandemic, we were driving through Illinois and stopped at a Cracker Barrel, and they said, we have 5 kids. So we have 7 total people in our family. And they said, we can only seat 6 people at a table. They said, my youngest daughter is 1.5 or 2 at the time. I'm like, can we just sit at one table? She said, no, but you and your wife can each sit at separate tables and have kids with you at each. And I said, fuck you. And I left. Right. And I said, and my wife and kids are all in the car, and they're like, what happened? And I said, there's another Cracker Barrel within 10 minutes of here. I guarantee you. We drove, and it was not 8 miles away. We get to the next the next exit. There's another Cracker Barrel, pulled in, all sat down just fine. That's every state other than Minnesota. Minnesota, you get one. It's in Lakeville. That's where I grew up. And it's the only one left. It's embarrassing.
There is so many just in my city. There is like several just in the city I live in.
Yeah.
Like, and then one off every single exit on the interstate on to any other city around me. There's one on 72, like right beside my house, 10 minutes down 72. And there's also one on 72, 10 minutes the other way. And then there's one in the middle of those. So,
Yeah. There's like everywhere else in the country on a major highway, there's a Cracker Barrel every 10 minutes. You're going to find one. Don't even worry about it. If you miss one, it's like, oh, well, don't worry. We'll get to the next one. It's fine. And somehow Minnesotans are the worst food consumers on the planet. They can't take it. They're like, oh, I'd rather eat at a Perkins. It's like, oh, good. Maybe you should also grab a 9mm and shoot yourself in the face. Like, just try that. All right, let me read up super chats and we can wrap up the show, because I know you got to be up early. I got to be up early because July 4th is a murderer.
God. Yep. I'm not looking forward to it.
Austin Heartless says, yeah, they have a medical condition. It's called being morbidly obese.
That is true.
Intimidator 0108 says, Camelot, as a Dale Sr. fan, I compare my lost interest for NASCAR to the song American Pie after he died. In my opinion, it went in the wrong direction with some things, and this will be opinion unpopular with Jimmy Johnson fans, but I don't see him as a true 7-time champ.
I don't disagree with most of that. Most of it, I don't disagree with, but I still love the shit because I'm a redneck guy. So it's like I'll get arrested if I don't love it. So
yeah, that's true. I can't watch. Can you sit and watch a NASCAR race?
Oh yeah, I can, dude. I get into it. I'll have like 3 monitors going, and I'll have time sheets on one monitor and then radios on the other. And I do this with everything. I do it with Formula 1, Formula 2. I watch all of it. Like I love like European racing. I love American racing. Everything.
I like the racing where it's like F1 or supercars, but they're not on just a circle track or an oval track or whatever. I like when they're on the street tracks. I think that's cool. But I cannot get into NASCAR. I can't do it.
I think that's probably why they have 7 like road courses in NASCAR this year for the first time, rather than like 2. They've increased it to 7. It's like nearly 30% of the damn schedules road course racing, which is really fun to watch. So
yeah, because the ovals kind of like the highlight reels from the ovals are cool.
Yeah.
And it's like when someone makes a cool pass, they take an inside track or an outside track and they pass a car and you're like, yeah, that's awesome. Or, someone wipes out and they're okay. You always hope they're okay, but you like to see their car go literally flipping hundreds of yards through the air.
Yes.
Or whatever. But yeah, it's, for me, the overwhelming majority of a NASCAR race, it's like golf for me. Like I love watching the guy chip in from 80 yards out. Like that's cool. But other than that, I don't want to watch the bunch of fat guys walk around.
Yep. That's kind of how I am. Like I'm not as big on the oval stuff, even though I watch it, but I just love road course stuff. And that's what the series I'm racing in 3 months, 2 months. In 2 months I'm racing in is road course stuff with NASCAR stock cars. So it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Now, be honest though. How many nooses are hanging in your garage?
18.
That's it. That's it. Only 18 though.
Yeah. That was silly times.
Woodcutter says, "Fat guys." Yeah. Have you seen pro golfers? They're almost as fat as pro baseball players.
What happened to pro baseball players? What the hell? They're all so thick now.
Well, the thing with baseball is that it was never like a high exercise sport.
Yeah.
Right. Because you need burst speed. You don't need sustained endurance or whatever. So you need some bulk and you need some thickness. And then they all started taking HGH or whatever. So they got even more bulky and thick and even less like of that sort of sustained lean body from high cardio. So they're good at their, they got big swings with a ton of power. And then they also got the sprints, because fat guys can sprint.
Yeah.
Like if you're not too fat, you can still move your legs and sprint just fine. But it's the weirdest athletic build on the planet to me.
Yeah, Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and all them changed everything. Yeah, they changed the name of the game.
Big, swole, like round, rotund, I think is the word.
Yeah.
These big rotund dudes, because you got to put a lot of weight behind the bat. Like if you really want to knock them out of the park, those dudes they're thick, and that's a lot of bulk that they're putting into the end of that bat.
Yeah.
That's why. But it's weird because it's like half these guys don't even look like they don't even look like athletes to me.
No. Every time I see it on TV, and it's always so far and few in between, it's always like a weird culture shock thing. I'm just like, oh wow, this is the Braves. Why are they all so fat? It's weird.
My man H. Wetzler in the chat says intermittent fasting. Heath, what are you talking about? I haven't fasted in my entire life.
Same.
I can't. I don't even know what intermittent fasting is. No. You're going to have to coach me on it because I can't do it. Help me. I'm getting fat. Matthew Harder says, both of you are weak little girls. Started my diet 11 days ago, lost 21 pounds. I'll fast for 3 days and then have one meal, work out 2 days, down 20 pounds. First big meal is always painfully satisfying. The results are addicting.
Hot damn.
If I fast for 3 days, dude, I'm going to die.
Yeah, the thing is, if you lost 21 pounds in that many days, you lost muscle mass and water weight. You didn't lose fat.
Unless
that's not how it works.
I don't know how.
Unless you're like 700 pounds. Yeah, you're right.
You might be a really big dude. Dude, if I lost 21 pounds in 11 days, you might have to take me to a literal hospital.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because you got to think, what is it? It's like 13. How much is it to burn a pound of weight? It's like 13,000.
It's 500 calories above your or below your caloric use. So technically, if you use 3,000 calories a day and you consume 2,500 calories a day, in theory, you will burn a pound of fat. You'll burn a pound off. But most people don't have a 500 calorie deficiency. That's a lot.
See, the thing with me is I will eat 1,600, and I usually eat 25 to 3,000. I can eat 1,600 for 90 days, and I'll lose about 27 pounds. 27 pounds and that's 70-30 muscle mass fat, like 70-30 fat muscle mass.
Yeah, I said 500 calories. I was Raw D corrected me. It's 3,500 calories.
Yeah, 3,500
is a pound. I was thinking over a week, if you wanted to lose a pound a week, you got to run at a 500 calorie deficiency every day. My bad for mixing that up.
Right.
Yeah, man. If you can fast for 3 straight days, props to you. I can't do it. I will literally get sick.
Yep. I can't.
I did a 48-hour fast several years ago, and it was very, very difficult. No food, just water for 48 hours. And it was a religious thing that I was doing. And I had a lot of trouble with that. There's no way I could go 3 days without eating. I can barely go like 6 hours without eating.
Yeah, I have to scrape something in just to make my stomach stop screaming for a moment. That's all I can do.
Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Joseph Kerwin says U.S. Bank had a plexiglass obelisk on the teller line. Teller would say, "Would you like to celebrate with us?" Then the customer would insert a plastic token in the obelisk. The teller rang a bell and everyone clapped. It was marvelously stupid.
That sounds awful. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Walmart doing their weird pep dance at the beginning of the shift.
Yeah.
And like some of the managers get really into it. And I'm like, how have you not swallowed a shotgun? Like, that's ridiculous. How could you, God, it's just a job, dude. It's just a job.
Yeah, I don't, I could never get into that. We would do like the pep meetings and stuff for Wells Fargo. They're like, yeah, we're going to have a hype meeting or whatever and get ready on like a Wednesday. And in the morning, we get out there and sell home equity. Product of the week was literally home equity lines every week. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, let's get out there and get into it. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, though, I'm not into it because I'm a person and I'm not literally a walking corporation. So no, thank you.
Yep. I've never understood it. Never will. Ugh.
Mario Carter 13 says, despite being only 16 cents of the budget, ... I don't know what that joke is what the finishing of that joke is, but I'm sure it's hilarious.
There was
Oh,
I think that might have to do with something with they released some statement saying because of Joe Biden's great leadership, the July 4th dinner will now cost 16 cents on average less or something. And like, why? And everybody was like, why would they? Why? Who cares? That's not something to be proud of. Like, who cares? I think that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't know. The media's infatuation with Biden's quote unquote accomplishments it's embarrassing for them.
Yep, that's weird.
Harvey Weinstein says, "Do you think Jerry Sandusky was given a fair trial?" Don't know. What I do think though is that Jerry Sandusky fucked kids, and I'm happy he's dead. The gray one says, "Evening all, a happy early 4th to you and yours. Got some fireworks, and first time I'm lighting any for the occasion. Here's to hoping it don't rain." Well, maybe
it always rains when I don't want it to.
Yeah, it's not raining tomorrow when I'm going to be outside in the hot sun all day. Angry Bellsprout says, "Why balls/no balls when you could have a stuffable hole under your futa part?"
Oh God,
that's
we're back with the futa
every time. Almond John 1 says, "Is Drex at the house?" No, Drexel. It turned out he was not able to come out this weekend, so he is not here. Matt Yetzko sent a noob sticker. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Bad Dragon Knight says, "Speaking of warranties, I'd like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty." You shut up, you motherfucker. How often do you get those calls?
Oh my God, I get like 5 a day. It's like we're trying to talk to you about tuition forgiveness, and I was like, I didn't do it. Does it sound like I went to college? No, you went to call me. Like, I wish I could just like somehow stop that. Be like, look, I didn't go to college. Can you guys stop talking to me?
No,
shit,
no way. They want to forgive your tuition that you haven't paid yet. Telemarketers should have no legal rights. Telemarketers, frankly, should get a new profession, or they may want to execute themselves. Helena sent a sticker of a little fox guy with Japanese fans. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Jefferson says, "Camelot nailed this interview like it was a wall number 12.
Rest in peace.
Michael Hunter, welcome to Lawyer Status. Thank you for joining the channel. Oh, guys, the next live stream, I didn't do this today because Camelot is here, but the next live stream, I found out I can enable chat for subscribers only.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that because I think a lot of people get unsubscribed and don't realize it. And the other thing is the fucking bots. It'll keep the bots away. So
wait, you can do it for just subscribers? Like, I thought that was members only.
No, you can do a subscriber only chat where they have to have been like a subscriber to the channel for X amount of time. You can actually set it at like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or a custom amount.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm thinking like if I set it at a 1 minute thing, you know, people who actually want to watch the channel will, you know, they're already subscribed and may have been unsubscribed by YouTube, but the bots or whatever aren't going to subscribe, so they won't spam the fucking chat. So that'll be
hell
nice.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Helena says, "Hi, Camelot. Don't forget to have Ricada Law on your channel soon too. The Famelot is missing out."
That's true.
Well, yeah, man, have me on. Matthew Harder says, "Nick, I was swimming at a lake in Texas as a 5 or 6-year-old and I started drowning. A big black lady heard me and said, 'Hey, baby, you look like you drowning,' and foisted me on her back. Saved my life." Yep. Big black women are lifesavers.
Yes.
Absolutely. Critical. Dermy Wormy says, I take your no one wants to be fat and raise you a Lizzo." I said no people. Lizzo isn't a person. It's a disgusting animal. Alex Angelo says, "This was Santander, wasn't it? Glad I missed that bullet." I don't know what the fuck Santander is.
Me neither.
Wesley Bosley says, "Had me at Tellers. Had a friend who moved for a job dealing with house repos. Ballooned 100 pounds in no time working in Wilmington, North Carolina."
Shocking.
Asia Frazier says, "I asked if they charged extra for cheese at Qdoba. The worker replied, no, it's free cheese for everyone. It's communist cheese. It gave me a laugh. Communist cheese for all. Yeah, if you want to get queso on your burrito at Chipotle, it's like $1.
Yep.
Everywhere else, they're like, yeah, we'll just dump cheese on there, of course, because it's literally fucking queso. We make gallons of it. We're a Mexican restaurant.
Yep. It doesn't make any sense. It's probably because they're so like corporate driven that everything's profitable in every situation.
Yeah. Andrew War Snowboard says Minnesota has a restaurant called the Machine Shed that is better than Cracker Barrel. Inject that unlimited cottage cheese into my veins. I literally never want cottage cheese. That's cheese in like milk spunk. I don't want it.
I've never had it. Never will.
It's like a weird part of a bunch of diets, and I don't understand it because it looks like someone vomited up mozzarella. I can't eat it. It's gross. Phoenix Lord Asserman says, I lived in Illinois all my life, and you're correct. It's a garbage state. Only California and New York are worse, in my opinion. TJ says, I live in the Northeast, Philadelphia, and I only know of one Cracker Barrel anywhere near me, but I'll take it. Keep the sarcasm coming, guys. Love it. Eldon Bainling says, learning from followers only e-thoughts, Nick? No, learning from most of the people who watch the live streams on this are already subscribers. Stormcrow 900 says, I'm positive telemarketers are paid by the call, by the minute. When I answered and just stayed silent, I quit getting calls for about 2 years. I just scream at them now. I take out all of my day's frustration on the telemarketer. How do you handle them?
I just don't answer the phone anymore.
I tried not to, but I still keep getting calls. So when I have a bad day, I pick up the phone and then I wait for their bullshit explanation.
Yep.
And then I start swearing at them a lot and threatening to murder them.
My job's YouTube now, so there's no one needs to call me for no reason, so I just don't answer the phone anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost entirely true for me. I have a little bit of legal representation that I still do though, so I have to answer from time to time, but usually I can identify those calls.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, man, let's go ahead and wrap it up. It's a little early, but like I said, you got to get up early. I got to get up early and be out in the heat all day, so I'm looking to go to bed. Is there anything you want to talk about? I mean, everybody should check out your channel, see what's going on in various corporations and corporate interests. But is there anything you wanted to say before we peace out?
No, just thanks for having me on. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because it is hot damn hell out here for the algorithm. So I don't know what it is about this month, but man, it is awful.
Dude,
it is
bad.
Brutal. Yeah,
it is bad.
It's just brutal, and I know it'll come back next month or whatever, but it's just been brutal. So it just means a lot for every damn one that subscribes, and also been doing just these podcasts with Yellow Flash and with you and stuff. It's just, I don't know, keeps my mind off a lot of dumb stuff in life. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, if you ever want to have me on the show, I'd love to come on and shoot the shit with you over there. Guys, check out Camelot's channel. And most importantly, no matter, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everybody else you subscribe to. When their videos come out, click on them. Click on them, watch them. That shit, it helps us more than you could possibly know. It tells YouTube that the people making the content aren't dead. We're not corpo shills. We're not bullshit, fake ass media outlets. We're just real people out here doing stuff. So click on those videos, watch them. You like us, you're usually going to laugh anyway. We really, really appreciate it. And it makes more of a difference than you can possibly imagine. Since you mentioned the algorithm and how bad it is putting my ass in the ground.
My gosh, dude. Yeah. And it's funny because the month prior I got like 12,000 subs and I was like, yeah, we're back on top, baby. And then we got to this month and it was just like, oh, it just this last 1,000 has been like pulling teeth, and I've been trying new things, releasing content, and you know how it is when you open that little dumbass YouTube app and it's like you're like last 5 videos in a row are like 10 out of 10, like ranked like your worst. And I'm just like, oh God, and you're like looking at the pistol that's on your bed. You keep under there, and you're like, you know what? Doesn't look like a bad option right now. Just swallow that. But so, I feel like a lot of people, like you said, don't understand just clicking on that bitch, giving it a like, and just letting it play throughout its entirety. You know, if you don't have time to watch it, like clicking it, it just means it just helps so much.
And the other thing, if you really like something, like legitimately, now I'm not talking if you just watch somewhere like, okay. If you really like something, share it on your social media, share it on Reddit, share it. If it's a topic, like if you're a guy who talks about Lowe's or whatever, you're a Lowe's employees group or whatever, throw a Camelot video about Lowe's in that Reddit. Like that is gold for us.
Yeah.
It is the magic that we all long for. Nozaku says, channel link in the description. Yeah, I've got, look, I tagged Camelot in the description. If you click on that tag, it'll take you right to his channel. Make sure you hit subscribe over there. Otherwise, well, hey man, thanks for coming on. Let's wrap up the show. And if you want to hang out for just a second, I always like to say goodbye in private. So thanks guys. We'll catch you. I don't know if there's going to be much content over the weekend. I just found out that I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow. I had plans to do videos over the weekend. Turns out those plans are shuttered. So that's how life goes. That's how.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that either. And then like 2 hours before the stream, I was like, you know what? I'm going to film all these and begrudgingly and just do it. So I'm done.
Yeah, I might film. I might try and get one out before I go to bed tonight so that I can have something come out tomorrow.
Oh, like a video. Okay, I thought we were talking about something else.
No,
I might try to get something out tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Look, no, that's happening no matter what.
No matter what.
Like that's automatic. Yeah. But I'm talking about a video that'll go out for tomorrow, since it's July 4th and all that stuff. But anyway, Derek Huda says Cody's the man. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, thank you, buddy. And to the chat. To all of you, I wish you a happy 4th of July. I really do.
Yes.
Spend Independence Day with people you like. Grill on a grill. Don't listen to that fucking moron on Twitter who's like, cooking inside is better. That's a man who does not know how to cook meat on a grill, and his man card should be revoked. Look, people I know who can't cook anything in the world, they're men. They can still grill.
Everybody, should be able to do that.
Yeah, men adding fire to meat is what we do, and it's a time-honored tradition. And if you embrace the new male philosophy of cook it in a pan inside, it's better, then you should be gulagged. So, all right, guys. Hope y'all have a good night. Peace.
Bye.